Yokoson välkommen! Hi, yes, it's me, TheSelleri. It's been a minute since this fair maiden has streamed, like 2 days, so I don't know. Hi. Yeah, we're here. I don't know for how long though. I will admit I'm kind of tired. But I wanted to stream for about 2 hours. I meant to do it sooner, but then I was instead like do 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 do. You know what I mean? Doing the Mr. Krabs a robot dance. I got nothing to do tomorrow, but I pretend like I do. Your mama eats pasta sauce straight from the container. Ah! Well, there's a Japanese Smash tournament going on. Ah, someone just unfollowed me. Like, that's hilarious. I'm not sorry at all for saying that. So whoever just unfollowed me, I bet your mother does eat pasta sauce straight from the container, and that's why you felt the need to unfollow, you freak. But at the same time, it's whatever. That's hilarious. That's happened before where we've been talking about something heinous and someone unfollows in real time. But I didn't think that was that bad. I usually don't even, well, you know how the stream manager thing works, how you can see like your follows and stuff at the top. Well, I said that and I went to go look at the chat and say, has anyone said anything? And then I saw it go from, it went down by 1 with me saying that. Genuinely funny. What is this album called? The metadata's messed up. Because it says Sakuzio, 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 and it says it like 10 times, and then it says the song title. Yeah, so I guess I need to take a look at the metadata. Something's got my stomach beatboxing, but I really haven't eaten anything that dynamic. I've been hexed. Aw, man. That smells so bad, I ought to just be dead in the ground. And hi, Cyrano-san. It's nice to see you've come through. I really haven't even eaten anything today. Not in like the I'm so out of food I'm gonna die way, but just that normally I don't really eat. Like I have a piece of bread in the morning and then I have something for dinner. So like I can't even credit it to being like, oh, that boiled carrot was too spicy for me. Cause like nothing was out of the ordinary. I go for walks at night now since I'm not supposed to be in the sunlight while I'm getting that laser hair removal treatment, which really just like inconveniences me mildly because I used to like going for runs in the sun because it'd be all hot and get all sweaty and smelly, and like I don't know, there's a certain fun to that. But anyway, I was going for a walk like normal, then it started raining, and then like I was like, oh, that's not too bad. But then it rained a bit harder, and it wasn't raining hard enough to where I got drenched, but it was hard enough to where I was like, man, I'm actually kind of getting wet. So I had to run home, and like running on a pretty full stomach, I got to get used to doing that again. Like, you know, it's not like I feel like something that you can just like start doing. I guess unless you're cool. But I feel like it's something you have to get used to again. And you said, do I chase women? I chase it's more like a horse in the field just running for sport. I run for the love of the game, not for the love of womans. It's like, I feel like I've told you before. I feel like every time you come out to the stream, I bring it up. But there's an Elden Ring manga, and in one of the more recent, you got an ad, so you've heard none of that. Understandable. I'll repeat everything that I just said. Effectively, I said I'm more like a horse in a field. I run just for the love of the sport. I don't trace the womans. And then I was gonna say, I bring it up like every time you come out to the stream, but there's an Elden Ring manga. And in one of the more recent chapters, Patches was talking with the main character, and then he was like, listen, I gotta go and I gotta go back and do my main hustle. And then he's like, well, what's that? Well, I put some shiny rocks on the edge of cliffs and kick people down the cliffs. And the main character is like, what kind of side hustle is that? And then Patches says, well, that's my whole reason for living. That's just me, but with running. They were at the, what is it called? It's Rykard's Manor. You know, the one on Mount Gelmir, where like there's those people that hunt other Tarnished. It's the main character has recently joined that, I don't know, cult, I guess you'd call them. And yeah, he was like doing the chores for Patches. And then that's when he's like, listen, I got things to do. I'll talk to you later. And then that's when he tells him that whole thing. And it's like, you know, Patches, I'm glad you have something that makes you happy, even if it's kicking people down a canyon. Yeah, right? Patches be like surrounded by people whose lives are absolutely miserable. And I guess he's one of them. However, he's got one of those shining lights at the end of his tunnel, which is just kicking people down cliffs. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me in a Souls game. I've somehow always avoided Patches doing that. Like in Dark Souls 1, I don't even think I found Patches somehow. Like, yeah, like being genuine, I think I just kind of like somehow dodged him completely. I don't remember ever seeing him, and then someone told me about him. Like, well, what's a Patches? And they're like, you know, the guy that kicks you down that hill, or in the dark area, he kicks you down there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I really don't remember that happening. And then in Elden Ring, it never happened to me either. I just was like, oh, cool, a shiny rock. Well, anyway, and I just like walked by it. You gave him a taste of his own medicine. You were like, hey Patches, since you love hurting people so much, how about I kick you down this abyss? And then he was like, wait, what? And bro was like, this is my side hustle. How dare you mess it up for me? As he falls to his doom. He gets to meet the Bone Brothers. There's something on my mind, but can I remember it? No. Will I remember it? Hopefully. Oh yeah, completely unrelated, nothing to do with what I was just talking about. But as we all know, I lost my job like almost a month ago at this point. But there was this one guy that I was like somewhat friends with, and like I haven't really talked to him since I left the job, and I sent him a text message pretty much all like, hey, what's up? Well, I said actually something more funny, and they didn't respond, so I'm like, I see how it is. That's usually how it tends to go. I talked about it on one stream before, but like I feel like whenever I make end quote friends in the workplace, I kind of come to the realization that people just kind of like me because workplaces are boring and I'm just like zany and strange. But then when they realize like talking to me outside of work, they're like, ooh, I don't want to talk with that freak. Like that's like the best I can like rationalize it to be. Like I have never been able, like I've talked to people at work and like we like talk for hours and like talk about anime, manga, video games, whatever. But when it comes to like the real world, usually no one wants to talk to me or hang out with me, which isn't a big deal. Like that's kind of how it's been like my entire life. People like me in like the institution, but outside like the real world, they're usually all like, kill yourself. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I get you, yeah. I don't know, I usually just kind of like to be like another brick in the wall at work. I try not to make like anything that makes me stand out. Usually when people ask me what I'm into, I'll tell them something really vague. Most of the time I'm like, yeah, I like sleeping. I do a lot of sleeping, breathing, go for walks, which are all things, I mean, I guess I do, but I don't know. I really don't like making friends. I don't like my personal life and like my work life like mixing at all. And one thing I seem to realize is that no matter how good of like friendos you are with someone from work, they seem to like to bring up stuff from work. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like that's where you know them from, and like they know that you know that we all know they can bring stuff up and you'll get it. Like you'll understand the struggle. So they can bring up like a work thing, like when you guys are out getting smoothies, and then you're like, listen dog, I'm trying to drink my Bahama Mama. I don't want to hear about like the upcoming policy change. Like I want to tell me about that when we're on the clock. Well, see, I'm actually in the same position. I live in the middle of nowhere as well. I'm talking like the nearest city to me that's like an actual city is like 30-ish minutes away. There is nothing but like dirt around me. My last job was in a city an hour away. So it was more like regular people that worked there, but like, I don't know, like shrug emoji, I guess. I mean, if you want to be real, you can be like, oh yeah, well there's like a Walmart 15 minutes away from you. It's like, yeah, but it's a Walmart in the middle of nowhere. It's like, what am I going to do? It's like, eat dirt. Like, the actual city that has more stuff is 30 minutes away. There's just like, I don't know, like a trading post equivalent in the modern day of being just like a mart and a bank. But I like living in the middle of nowhere. See, that job that I left, the reason I left it, I've said it a billion times before, but it'll be the first time you've heard it, is because my vehicle done went and exploded on me, and I couldn't go to work for about a week and some change, and then I just kind of lost my job from there. So that's that. And the funny thing is I was gonna borrow my mom's car, and then it like exploded even harder and like wasn't even starting. And then it was like, well, like we were like, okay, well let's go ahead and get this baby cranked on. And I was like, whatever, man, because I wanted to quit my job for a while. Because I don't know, man. I thought I was strong enough, but I'm not. I'm not strong enough to survive a 1 hour drive to work and a 1 hour drive home. Because it was making me really mad, because my entire day I'd wake up, like I had to wake up real early, and then, I had to be leaving, and it felt like my entire day was just devoted to getting to work, waking up 4 hours before my shift, making lunch, doing everything, going to work, and then coming home, being able to like stay up for 2 hours to actually do stuff, having to go back to work, and then it was like I got nothing done that I wanted to. And that was my biggest like concern. I was like, man, I feel like I'm not doing what I want to do with my life. I might be getting paid a lot of money to do this, but this commute is going to be the death of me. You want to work forging steel, channeling your inner dwarf? And see, the thing is, it's not even like I'm someone that's saying I'm wasting my life. I gotta go ahead and travel the earth and leave my mark and eat beans straight out of the can. I'm not saying I want to do all that, man. I just want to have at least like 2 or 3 hours to be able to like watch anime, do smelly stuff on the internet, and then play video games. That's like it. Like, not even asking for the world on this one. Just like a little bit of free time to do a couple of things. I feel you on that one. You don't want to be Dirty Dan. You just want to be Patrick. But yeah, it is what it is in our society. We live in one. Oh, speaking of society, I had it wasn't even a we live in a society moment, but I thought it was kind of funny. So another lore thing that you're not going to be aware of, but I recently have been going through the evil health problems, and we didn't stream the last couple of days because I was having to do some tests and stuff for that and was mildly stressed out. But anyway, I had to go, and they were going to do a CAT scan. And I was just like, okay. And they had mentioned, like, in the transcript of it, or what, I guess the appointment notes is what you call it, that I was going to have to be doing, like, a dye test. And then we'll get you in and out in 5 minutes. And I was like, all right, I guess. I was like, what about all the dye and stuff? But I didn't say that out loud. So then they just did it. And then I was like, huh, okay. And then, like, 4 hours later, they called me. And they're like, yeah, we forgot to do the dye test. And I was just like, die, they're gonna kill me. I wish, man. Just like take out the middleman being like the 40-50 years between like now and death. Well, actually it's probably more like 20-30 at this point, but anyway, you get the gist of it. It's like take out the middleman and just get me to the ending now. I'll just skip the filler chapters. But yeah, they said that, and then I was just like, huh, okay. But I thought it was funny because they were like, when they called, they were like, is this Miss Celery? And then I was like, at first I was like, I mean, I know they're talking about me. It's like, I'm just kind of shocked that I was addressed as Miss. And then they like apologized, and I was like, why are you apologizing? It's like, if you look at like my legal ID, like, according to the state that I live in, I am a woman. So it's like, I don't know. So you have the documents in front of you, Chief. They hold up. So you were right the first time. I'm sorry my voice scared you so much. I thought that was a we live in a society funny moment myself. And it was like the highlight of the entire conversation I had to have when they told me I have to come back in for more testing. But yeah, we love kidney disease. We love a slow but also expedited death. We love the whole growing growths. Heart problem, but you think it's anxiety. Have you ever got it looked at like in the past? Or did they say that maybe try eating ice cream and have a blast? You'll cross that bridge when you get there. I feel that. It's fun to live in ignorance of your problems, you know what I mean? Like to just be like, you have a horrible debilitating disease, but like you just keep kind of thugging it out. I'd be just like you, but my doctor, for something completely different, they were like, hey, let's do an ultrasound of like your midsection. I was like, okay, bet. And then they were trying to discover if I had like a liver problem, and they're like, nah, your liver's just fine, but you got some growth on your kidney. And then I was like, ooh, that doesn't sound fun. And I think it's the beginning of the end of me. Because I had an aunt that had this, and I found out that it's apparently a genetic disease. And this is just like stage 1. It's not the cancer. I'm like making it sound horrible like it's the cancer, but it's different from the cancer. But I mean, that aunt is still alive, but not the best health. It's one of those things where it's like, if I want to be able to live to 70, you know, like I'm going to have to get another kidney at some point and also be on dialysis. So a real one like me, a true tree, so to speak, I kind of feel like I'll just accept it, dog. Like, when it gets to that point for me, just pump me full of pain pills and I'll just die. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh, I don't ever want to get a donation. Donations are evil. No, I just feel like I'm kind of a loser, you know? Like, I feel like there's other people more deserving of getting a kidney transplant than me. For example, what would I do? Okay, what would I do if I got one? You know what I mean? Like, I would just continue to just watch anime, listen to music, play video games, read manga, and stream. Like, I'm not going to be doing anything with my life. There's no one in my life that, like, depends on me. I don't have kids. I don't have grandkids. I'm not the sole guardian for anyone. I'm not a scientist about to cure cancer. Like, I am actually just, like, an individual, a freak that just consumes resources and just, like, lives life. And, like, it's not like I'm this isn't, like, a plea for help where I'm like, please intervene, I'm going to kill myself. I'm just saying, like, objectively speaking, I genuinely think there are more people that have family members and, like, responsibilities and people that depend on them that are actually on a kidney waiting list that actually deserve it more than I would. And I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I knew that I got a kidney when Grandpa Jetson, who's raising his 2 grandkids as their sole guardian after their parents died in the fire, saving, I don't know, a bunch of puppies, and now is like gonna die, and the 2 grandkids are gonna live horrible lives in foster homes, all because loser me was like, I want to read the new Fate type Redline manga volume, and I get a kidney transplant. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. So what I'd like to do now at this point with embracing that philosophy is that I'd like to try and live one of those lives, you know, like a candle twice as bright burns half as long. But like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, well, what would I do? Like, there's really nothing that I want to do at this point. I feel like I'm just like at the end of a video game, like an open world one, where you've beaten the final boss, so you just kind of like walk around and go to like low level areas and stuff. Like, there's really nothing I want to do anymore. But I guess I'll figure that out. Just try and cram in as much as like late game life stuff now as I can, so that like in 20 years when I'm dying to death, if that, I can just be like, yeah, I don't really have too many regrets. Or who knows, maybe advances in medical science will, like, they'll make it so you can grow your own kidneys, you know what I'm saying? Because as it stands right now, with the condition, like, once it starts, there's nothing they can do except for try and slow it down and, like, give you a new one. And then you can make the argument, oh yeah, but you can live with one kidney. You can, but then it spreads to both kidneys, like, it starts out in one, and then it goes to the other one. And, like, if I only had one, I'd just kind of be like, just, like, pushing my limits. Maybe it's going to speed up the growth in the other one, because that kidney's going to have to, like, work twice as hard. And, like, the goal is to try and make your kidneys work as little as they can at this point. Luckily, though, I'm at the start of, like, this disease, so if I'm lucky, if, I can, like, start treatment, I might have, like, another 20, 30 years. But that's, like, I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it too much, but I can't help but also think about it, because it's, like, a big thing that I'm having to deal with, like, every day, with, like, going to, like, do all these medical tests and stuff. So, like, it's weird and not fun, but I don't know, it's whatever. It's like that one image of that guy, and it's like some aliens, like, we're aliens from another planet, and the guy is like, that's cool, I guess, and then, the alien's like, well, why aren't you more surprised? And then he just says, I've been going through a lot lately. That's kind of how I feel about the whole thing, It's like, eh. On a more fun note, I caught up on that Learning with F-Go manga, the one that has, like, the chibi characters that everyone loves by Rio. And I mean, like, I actually, like, caught up. My years of Japanese practice have paid off when I read the Japanese untranslated pages, so I'm, like, actually, like, caught up. I gotta say, it's really funny, like, there was, like, a couple of chapters where I was, like, actually laughing. I really like Otoko Shujinko. He's funny. Like, there's a bit where he becomes a crypter, and he's, like, running around in Chaldea, and I believe there's, like, this part where he covered himself in oil, and they go to, like, dogpile on him, and he just, like, slides from underneath them, and they're like, he's too oiled up, we can't get a grip on him. And then, like, later on, they, like, open up a closet, and then he's inside, like, it's where they keep the food, and he's inside of it, and then they're like, what are you doing? And then he's like, just getting myself some provisions. And then he grabs like a box of apples and he's covered in oil and he like slides around through the ducks, like the air ducts, and they can't catch him. And then Kadok, he's all like, "Oh man, we're not gonna catch him. He's been running around in like in the ducts. We like can't get in there. It's too cramped." And then Anastasia's just like, "Here, strip naked and cover yourself in salad oil." And then he's all like, "Are you sure this is like a good idea?" And then she's like, "You don't have the time to think. Get in there." And then he's like crawling around through the ducts, all oiled up. And then they find him in Astolfo, and then like they have like a what is it, a GoPro, like one of those like headbands that record. He's like wearing one of those, and like the male MC, he's like being like, "Oh, whatever you do, don't pin me down." And then like Kadok's all oiled up and is like wrestling against him. And then Anastasia's like, "Oh no, I just realized this is all part of his plan." It's like, "You gotta get out of there." And that's like his whole thing. Like, for some reason, the last like 300 chapters, his whole like personality feels like it's been covering himself in oil. And I'm all for it. It's so funny. Like, they tie him up, and Astolfo comes to save him in Kirshdaria, and then he's like, "Astolfo, I need you to cover me in oil." And then he's like, "Okay." And he covers him in oil, and he's trying to get out of the ropes. And he's like, "Astolfo, I need you to go and get me some more oil." And then he does that. It's like, wait, why did Astolfo just like untie him? And then he leaves. And then he comes back with like a bucket, like a big, like what you'd put like gasoline in to fill up a car. Like a big container, and he just like covers him in the oil. And then he still can't get out. And then he's like, "Don't worry, I'll be back with more oil." But then, like, later on, we see that he has, like, so he's, like, putting his, like, magical energy into the oil, and he made, like, a giant arm that extends outside. He's, like, interacting with the outside world. And, like, he can also make, like, what do you call them, like, shadow clones or something with the oil. And he's, like, interfering despite being locked up. Eventually, he does escape. And it's not with the oil, funnily enough. It's Astolfo just actually comes and breaks him out. But I, for one, really like how that character, his whole personality is like covering himself in oil. Also, that album ended. I'm pulling up the next one we're going to listen to. We're going to listen to that Mame Yudofu album. It's called Stream Friendly. We'll listen to the first one. Highly recommended. However, to get to the chapters I'm talking about, you need to either have a translator or know some Japanese. But, you can figure it out. I believe in you. I mean, the main story is pretty funny too, but I like the stuff when it involves the male character. Recently, they cut off her arms, legs, and head, and her heart. And they were gonna, like, the cryptors all kept one different part of her body. And they were all like, "Okay, now there's no way she can, come back and beat us now." And then, like, the head started to grow an arm underneath it and was still alive. But they boiled it, and then it took away, like, her lewd nature. And, like, she's now, like, a sweet girl, like a head, but with one arm that walks on it. Or at least that was the case for a while. She's since gone back to her lewd ways. But, like, it was funny, because she was just, like, a head with an arm that walked around on it, and the arm kept getting bigger, so she was just like one big arm that was walking on its fingers, and then a head at the end. dumber than a box of rocks. Listen, I believe in you, cutie. I bet if you tap in, like, if you really tap in, I know you can do it. You just gotta, like, tap in. Like, grade A tap in. Completely unrelated to that, you know, I know that it was a big part of my personality for years, is what some would probably say, a lot of people actually, was me consuming the plant, the kind that does change the brain chemistry for fun times, but it started giving me really bad anxiety, so I had to quit. Yeah, that's what I said. Because it used to be fun when it was fun, but it felt like every time I got high, it was like all of like the worst things ever. Like I would just think of every bad thing that's ever happened to me and like all of my insecurities and like concerns. It was just like they would all come to mind and I was like, okay, dog, I gotta stop. It's like this isn't fun anymore. I'm tired of fighting all of my demons. Like there's a reason they're my demons. 'Cause I don't have it in me to fight them. And you're asking if I overdid it? I didn't think so. Like, I was just taking regular edibles. Like, not even like super double strength. Just like regular edibles for a while was making me feel absolutely terrible and like afraid of the universe. And then I smoked a couple of times, like medical grade marijuana. That was overdoing it. But I didn't have a job. And I was having to borrow from well, actually, I shouldn't say having to borrow, but I was like participating in it. Like my stepdad was letting me smoke with him. And you know, I don't like to smoke, but I was like, hey, I'll try smoking. Maybe just edibles are too much for me. And then smoking did it as well. So I was like, okay, like the problem lies with me. See, like that was fun, but it was like a debilitating version of it. It wasn't even like the fun part. It was like, oh my goodness, like I'm in a dark place and I can't get out. And I could just like lay in bed for a couple hours and just try my hardest to focus on other things. Like it wasn't a mental battle of like the fun variety. It had become like the kind of mental battle that I need institutionalized assistance. Like I'm a danger to myself and those around me. Like, you know that episode of Family Guy where Brian takes the mushrooms and he's all like, I have to cut off my ear to prevent World War III. Not like that level of hallucinogenic, but like that level of like panic maybe. Like, I don't know what like chemically, there's a bug on my arm. Man, I gotta close that window. Hang on. Anyway, yeah, it just became unfun. And then I just had like this weird like lucid moment where I was like, wait a minute, if I'm not enjoying this, why am I doing it? Believe you me though. Believe you me. If I could still get high, I would definitely do so. because it's a fun way to escape from reality. But you know what's a fun way to escape reality? Buying stuff. But you know what you can't do when you don't have a job? Buy stuff. I'm currently in a difficult living situation right now. It's not like I was kicked out of where I was living, but I was paying for home renovations, and the person that did them, they messed up. And like, it turns out that they were like doing it somewhat illegally and lying that they had a certification that they didn't. So I don't really have like a in quote room or space to live anymore. I'm still like in the house, but it's like my computer and everything's set up in like a walkway. So like when I'm like asleep in a bed, sometimes the dog would just come by and like lick the back of my neck. And it's really scary. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, it is what it is. And you say the joy comes from wasting $100 on microtransactions. It's true, man. It really adds up to, like, I had like an out of body experience, because I buy a lot of acrylic stands and like stuff like Lancelot merch. And one time it was like I bought a bunch of stuff and I was like, yeah, it was a bunch of $5 and $10 purchases. And then like I look at it and it was like I just spent like $300. And then it's like, I guess it makes sense, and you buy something that's $5 15 times. So the only real downside though to buying anything is that I have nowhere to put it right now. So I get all this cool stuff that are these stuff that I think is cool, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'll just put it in someone's closet until I have a place to stay again. But hey, it's like a tomato, huh? It be what it be. Indeed, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like I used to have like a fire that could propel me forward. Like a sense of justice where I was like, I want to make the world right. I want to do this, that, and the third. But anymore, it's like, nah, I'd rather just eat like a tasty sandwich. Not even like from like a gourmand like type of view. It's just like, I don't have the energy to do this, that, and the third anymore. Like, I'll just move to North Korea. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I just hit the mic. But it is what it is. Zeri-san, hi. Are you already packed and ready to move to North Korea yourself? And he said he used to have a reason for wanting to carry on, but now more or less you're just like hanging out, not even fishing for trout. North Korea, yeah, you know, just ready to move to North Korea. You have no vehicle. You can't even catch a spring breeze and hang glide there. The lake ecosystem is carrying on without you. Dang. I find it fun when people like fishing. Have you ever watched competitive fishing? I know that might sound kind of weird to people that aren't like into that type of thing, but I think it's pretty neat. Like those big tournaments that they have. I haven't watched one in a couple of years. Statement's gonna make you cry is true. Top 10 sad things that we've heard today. You've never seen competitive fishing? Yeah, there's a lot of YouTube videos of tournaments. I used to watch them in 2022 and some of 2020. Mostly 2021 and 2. Like, I used to like to watch them when I was like super high. But effectively, what they do, I'm just gonna tell you. Like, if you know, then I don't know, kill me. But if you don't know, then I guess listen. But it's kind of like, yeah, competitive fishing. They kind of have like a time frame where it's like, okay, you fish from this day up until this day. You catch your fish, you put them in all your catches you put into a like container, and then you just kind of like go into your day. And you can kind of pick when you go, but I think you can only be out for like certain hours. Like you can only be out for like, let's say it's like 3 hours at a time. It might be more, might be less, but you know, you can pick when you go out, but you have an allocated time that you can be out. And it's yeah, that's it. They usually have like the location, at least for the ones in the States, they change every year. So it might be in Texas one year, it might be in Kentucky one year. You get the gist, right? And there'll just be like a bunch of people out, and they just have to hope that they can win. And it's usually like a cash prize, and also like usually some type of brand deal. I remember like one of the guys that won was just like a middle-aged white guy, and he's like, I took off work to come, and you know, I just wanted to see how it's gonna go. And he ended up winning, and you know, was able to make fishing into a career from there, which I think those types of stories are pretty cool. It's like, yeah, good for you there, uncle. Yeah, uncle created character, old middle-aged dude who took off work to go fishing at the tournament, won the tournament, got a good sum of money, and on top of that is now going to like have their own like fishing brand deal. And it succeeded because they were at like some tournaments after that I had watched. And like the way the tournaments are usually going is that it'll be the camera crew will seemingly follow everyone, or at least the big like ticket people, you know, that are like, okay, we're pretty sure they're gonna win. Because a lot of the times it'll be like the contestants who make it far would just be talking at the camera on the boat the whole time, and then it's edited so that you see them just catch stuff and then be mad that they're not catching anything. kind of like build false drama. And you see how joyous it'd be to make a living off of fishing. Vel, du kan flytta till Norge. Du kan fiske där på ett skip. Du må bara lära språket och det är inte så vanskligt. Yeah, you could do that, dog. Just move to the north. But also, I don't know. I used to go fishing when I was a kid. And it was at some point, like I used to go a lot when I was a kid, but I never liked to fish. What usually happened is like, whatever relative I was with fishing, they would like set up the fishing equipment and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'd like go walk off in the woods and then just like come back a few hours later. Like, that's like all I would do. Like I don't know. That was like the more fun part of the fishing to me. And then I realized that when I got older and I was like, oh, I just like going out into the woods and getting kidnapped by fairies. Like that's all that would happen. I just like go out into the woods, step into a fairy ring, the entire day goes by, and then I realize it's dusk and I'm like, huh, I guess I should go back now. And then they're like, where have you been? I'm like, I don't know. And they're all like, why is your arm covered in leaves like that? And then I peel them off to see like a weird scar and I'm like, huh, I don't know. And then they're like, well, what's with that weird red tattoo-ish mark on your back? And then I'm like, yeah, still don't know. And then we go home, and then it's just like, I wonder where I've been all day. You know, that was more of the fun part of fishing, was the stepping into a fairy ring part. And then I kind of grew older, and then like the woodland sprites don't really like to mess with you when you're not a child anymore. So, you know what I mean? After that, I was then like, why am I even here? So then I stopped going fishing. I also stopped liking to touch the bait because as I got older, I got more and more effeminate, I guess you would say. And I was like, I don't want to touch a worm. And then like the last time I went fishing, my grandpa was like, okay, well, I'm not taking the worm off for you anymore. And it's like, so it's going to be there next time for you to take it off. So I just never went fishing with him again. I also never touched the fish when I would reel them in. I almost said rake them in, but reel them in. So yeah, it was just kind of like a realization where it's like, oh, I guess I don't really like fishing. I just like getting abducted by fairies. You just lay in the skin and stare at the sky, self-reflecting. See, now that's just fun. I guess that's a good way to like put it though. To be like, hey guys, I'm going fishing, wink at the camera, when in reality you're going to like stargaze and reflect on your life. A cute laugh track, yeah. I'd like to do things like that. And I mean, I can't even make excuses like, oh, you know, I live in the middle of nowhere. Ads for 20 seconds. No! Well, or 30. Well, hey, at least that's not that long. Ads on the channel are usually about 30 seconds long. We love the ad apocalypse. As it happened with that one streamer that streams Smash. You know, there was that streamer Mewtwo King who streams Smash Melee and is like a big player for that. And he was doing like the Melee stream for a big tournament in Mexico. And he was having like, it would be 13 ads would play. And it was like doing it every 5 minutes. And people were missing entire matches. And they're like, what's going on here? And like, they started complaining to him on Twitter. And he got mad. And it's like, dog, this is like your fault though. Like, you're streaming like the biggest tournament in Mexico. And you have on like 13 ads that are playing every 5 to 10 minutes. Like, you are in the wrong here, and you're getting mad. Yeah, dress up, bro. That's the whole reason he had it. And like anytime the ad would play, the bot would say, hey, make sure to sub, it helps me keep going. Which is okay, I guess, when you're casually streaming, you know, just like a freak of the week. But when you're streaming, like, you're doing the stream for a big event, you can't be doing things like that. And then they told that to him, and then he was like apologetic and changed it. But then he kind of like twisted it around so that it was like everyone was attacking him. And it's like, no, see, it's like if you are driving on the wrong side of the road and everyone's honking and yelling at you, and then you realize like, oh man, I'm driving on the wrong side of the road, I didn't realize it. You can't really get mad at everyone for honking and yelling at you, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like you did this, dog. Like, you doing it, you might not have done it on purpose, but like you still did it. You still did wrong. It's not our fault. It's yours. You know what I'm saying? They said they just do a BRB. That's a good idea, yeah. Especially if you're gonna run 13 ads. At that point, you might as well just like stop streaming. Just like go to bed. Okay, guys, 13 ads. See you tomorrow. Oh yeah, before the ad apocalypse there, what I was gonna say is that I'd like to do stuff like that, like go out into the middle of nowhere and like sit around, but I run into like two fears. It's like, while my car is running again, I feel like it's just a matter of time before it explodes. So like, I don't want that to happen in the middle of nowhere. And then like, I have to be like, hey, can someone come pick me up? And then they're like, where are you at? And I'll be like, I don't really know. And then that one Lost in the Woods song plays from Zelda. It's Majora's Mask, like the do 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 do. You know that song? It's like that starts playing, and then I blow up. Also, my other concern, I don't know, like, I guess I have like 3 concerns. So one, I guess, is getting lost in the woods, but not in the regard that I'm just like lost in the woods, but more just like I'm lost there because my vehicle explodes. And then also the other one would be like, no, I guess it's just 2 things. It's that one, and then I don't know. I guess I'm just too hardwired to the internet. Because I feel like there's certain tasks I have to do every day. And like, if I decided to just take like a 3 or 4 hour, just like get lost in the woods and get turned into a nut creature by some Skull Kid created character, I'd be like, man, how is this going to affect my doom scrolling? You know what I mean? I gotta check eBay and Mercari and whatnot, and Yahoo Auction Japan and Japanese Mercari, and then after that I need to check Blue Sky, and I need to open Twitter, make sure no one's DM'd me, and then close it right afterwards, check any new manga, watch any new anime. It's like, how am I gonna do all of that if I'm out in the woods? Which, I mean, if I did start going out in the woods and having fun, that mindset would change, you know, and it would just be like, whatever. But it's kind of like yanking the plug on that one. Cutting the umbilical cord. On the topic of Zelda games, the only Zelda game I've ever actually beaten was the Phantom Hourglass. Like, I've tried to play other Zelda games, but I don't know. They just really don't strike my interest. But for some reason, something about the Phantom Hourglass, I was like, okay, now this is gaming. Oh, I mean, I like the Twilight Princess, but never mind. The only two Zelda games that I have any type of connection to is like Twilight Princess and the Phantom Hourglass. Like, I've tried for years to get into the franchise. It just genuinely doesn't wow me. Which is a shame because, like, it really feels like Zelda fans get to eat pretty good every week. Or do they? I know there's like Zelda Lego sets, which they seem pretty cool. They're expensive, but like, I don't know. You just played Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, the two recent ones. See, but that's like double the games that I've played. And like those first two that you mentioned are like the best ones in the series, according to most neckbeards. Also, can't lie, I think Link looks kind of lame. I like Toon Link though, like a lot. I really like Toon Link's design. But like regular Link, I think he's kind of a loser. Wrong word. Dork? Maybe that's what I'm looking for. He's kind of a dork. The Autobot. I tried to say that. That's funny. That's actually really funny. Bro's all like, hey, are we allowed to say that word? It's like, yes. Stupid twink, though. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Sometimes I think about trying out more games like that. Like, you know, just playing. Because I'm gonna be real, it really feels like there's less, like, the new games coming out. And it's more just like the same 5 franchises keep getting new add-ons or spin-offs. So being able to jump into any more games might be fun. But then I think, man, that means I have to, like, actually play a game. And I've been in a rut, I've realized, for the last... honestly, like last 6 years it feels like. I don't want to play anything. Except for like this. I don't even know if I want to play this game. It's just like, I do it. It's like, I'm part of the problem. I less seem to like games anymore because I'm like, oh man, this is a marvel in its gameplay mechanics. It really revolutionizes the industry. No, I really just play things in a franchise I like. For example, I don't play first-person shooters because I get motion sickness. However, if they made a first-person shooter Fate game, I'd be eating that up like baby food. I would just simply take like Dramamine and would throw up. But like any other, let's say it's like, yeah man, this game revolutionizes FPS, I'm not gonna play that. Or even like RPGs, I love RPGs. But if it's like, yeah, it's its own new original series, I'm probably not gonna play it. I like, sure, I might like it and it might be really cool, but I'm like, I don't know, dog. I've already devoted all my life energy to like some franchises already. I'll just wait until they make something new. I don't have the energy to like get into something else hardcore. And you stop playing JRPGs because you lack the motivation and the time to play 10 million billion quintillion hours. And that's completely valid. That's another reason, I guess. The whole time doesn't rest for you and time doesn't rest for me argument. you know, life moves on, so might as well just do nothing at all and wake up one day and you're 87 and then you die. Like, I don't know, it really feels like just like one day I just kind of like lost the drive to play new games. Because I used to just be able to like play stuff. Like, you know, I used to just kind of like buy games that were on sale on Steam and be like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. Like Katana Zero, Hyper Light Drifter. Those are just like two examples off the top of my head of games that I saw. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a whirl. And then I played it and I was like, these games are awesome. But like, I genuinely don't think I have that dog in me to do that anymore. Like, someone either has to like start the fire for me, or it has to be in a franchise I already like. And then, yeah, see, that happens to me too, where like you forget what you're doing in a game. But I have it really bad, where it's like every time I put down a game and pick it back up, even if it's just a day, I have to remember how to play the game completely. Like, I know that sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm being fully serious. Like, if I don't play a game every day for several hours, I genuinely forget how to play them. And knowing that, it's always hard for me to like get my swing on in games, because I'm always like, there's that learning curve of me having to learn how to play it. And then I'm always also like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Like, I don't want to have to figure out new mechanics or anything. I guess that's also like a big thing. It's like, I really just don't feel like learning anything new. That's a dangerous mindset to have. But like, when it comes to video games, I'm pretty much like, is it Souls-like? And then it's like, yeah. And it's like, is it like actually like genuinely just 100% a rip of a Soul game, or is there a new mechanic? And it's like, well, it has this mechanic added to it. And I'm like, yeah, I can't play it. I don't know, I just kind of feel like that one guy from Hunter x Hunter who he can make like a duplicate of himself, but that was his only nin ability because he spent all of his time figuring out how to make like an exact duplicate, so he had no other abilities. I feel like that's where I'm at. Like, the games that I know how to play, I can play those with my eyes closed, but I don't think I have like the capacity to learn anything new at this point. Like, from a motivation standpoint, and maybe even just like a pure processing standpoint. There's a word. I never remember what it is in English, but distert is what it is. You know, it's probably not so distert, but it feels that way. Like, it really does. It's probably not, but like, it really genuinely feels that way. Like, it's like, man, bro, I can really only play the same 3 games forever. Just don't got the drive to like put into doing anything. Just been playing Dark Souls 1. I get ya. And then just like making it more interesting the cool guy way with cheat engine. But see, I feel that way. That's why I have like 1,000 hours in Elden Ring. Because I feel like it's a pretty easy game to just like turn my mind off to, because I played it so much and just like walk around. My solution to the boredom and fatigue I felt has been playing a mod. But we haven't played Elden Ring on the channel in a while. For what purpose? No, I don't know. I've just been kind of going through it, as the kids say. And fun in the sun hasn't been too much on my mind. But you know what? It should be, because I'm unemployed, and being unemployed is super fun until you need money. Then it's the scariest thing ever. It's fun until it isn't. Same thing with working. Yeah, but depending on your situation, it's usually a bit more fun until it isn't when you're unemployed. Usually it's fun until it isn't when working, once the training for work is over. At least again in my experience. Like, once your training's through, usually life starts to, like, I don't know, it just like goes downhill from there. Although I've had a lot of fun lately reading manga. Been reading a lot of stuff with things. That's been fun. At the end of the day, I think I'm just like a book girl. Because I do just like reading stuff a lot. Like, that's like all I've done the last like 3 or 4 days. And I've felt it to be a lot more gratifying and fun than I felt playing video games have been for the last several years. But, you know, this was like written on the wall, because I had a pretty, it wasn't like a lengthy phase, but I bought a lot of books. I'll be real, I was going through like one of my old lady arcs where I was buying a bunch of adult fantasy books. And I'd just be like reading them. This was when I was in my travel arc, so I was kind of like at airports pretty often. So I had a lot more just like I can't do anything but read, I guess, type moments. And that was a lot of fun, like reading those books. Sure, they were adult fantasy, so you could be like, well, you were just having fun because of like the adult part of the fantasy. I don't know, just like fun to sit there and be like, wow, this is a book. I love to talk about it because we do this every couple of months. But I really got into the Iron Dragon series. You ever heard of that? Like the Iron Dragon's Daughter, the Iron Dragon's Mother, then the Dragons of Babylon. It's 3 books. You haven't? Well, I'm going to tell you about it whether you like it or not. Alright? Non-consensual lore dumping. Now, I'm going to be real, I liked more the world. Like, everything I felt like that happened in the book, I was usually like, this is kind of uninteresting. But this world that they have here, like, the way things work is, like, really cool. At least I thought so. But, like, the story is by also Michael Brunswick, if you ever want to look it up. Because I'm going to be unintentionally leaving out a lot of details, because this was like 6 years ago I last read these books. But the first one, The Iron Dragon's Daughter, it follows this human girl named Jane, and she lives and works in a factory. And they seem to just make like metal, and just be like, it's the stuff that dwarves would normally do in like a fantasy setting. But they have a bunch of different like fantasy race children, and they're doing work at it. And the main character is just a plain human, which are apparently pretty much non-existent in this world. So everyone's mean to her just because they're like, human, die. And so with that in mind, she's just like sucking at life or whatever, until there comes a point where her supervisor's yelling at her Because I think she like dropped something. She was like supposed to bring him some document or something, and she dropped it. And then he picks her up by like the collar and is like, "You can't do nothing right now, can you, you little scamp?" And then he like looks down at her, and then he's like, "Huh, you're bleeding." And he's like, "Did you hurt yourself when you dropped the thing?" And then she's like, "I don't know what's going on." Now see, that's the big turning point in the series. And you're like, what happened? Well, she started menstruating. And that's like the big turning like point in what's going to happen going forward. So like, it's like, oh my goodness, she's now capable of procreation. So then she like gets a promotion because of that. And then she's just all like, "I don't really know what's going on, dog, but I got promoted. So sweet." And then we find out, we might have found out earlier before that, but we find out she's in a factory to make the iron dragons. And it doesn't make too much sense how it's done, because it's like the dragons are living creatures, but like they just need like a physical form. So like they already exist, it seems like, but like they have to make these giant metal bodies for them. And the only people that can pilot them are elves. Specifically half elves. It has to be a half human, half elf. Which just raises questions, because it's like, well, where do the humans come from? Well, you find out later on. But yeah, so she's just like living life free of strife. You know, just like, all it took was me bleeding a little, and now all of a sudden my life and entire everything is improved. And then she ends up meeting this one guy. I don't remember like how, but he's like another kid her age who's a different fantasy race, and they fall in love, and they're like on the roof of like the factory, and they're just like stargazing. And there's a concept of true names in this series. Yusuke Bafepapri-san Haro. You're just in time to hear us talk about the Iron Dragon's Daughter, everyone's favorite book series. But yeah, the true name concept is kind of like in Fate, I guess, but in this universe, it's like all the fantasy races, they have a true name, and it's like, no matter what they're reincarnated into, they always have that name, and they have whatever current name they have in their reincarnation. So he tells the main character, Iron Dragon's Daughter, yeah, it's the first book in like a trilogy. But yeah, so they have like that. And he's like, "Okay, I told you mine, so now what's your true name?" And she's like, "Listen, I'm a human. We don't have those." And then he's just like, "Oh, shoot." I don't think it's right then. It might have been right then, I think. But she like says it, and like he like poops out of existence, just like ceases to exist. It was either right then or it's like a little bit later. But then that then causes like her initial like depressive state. But then there's also the Iron Dragon that they're actively building is like Cthulhu mind talking to her and like feeding her information and like, "Hey man, collect these items for me and I'm going to give you a fraction of my ultimate power." And then she's like, "Yeah, I mean my life sucks, so might as well. You know, I might have got a promotion, but I'm still like a child working in a factory." So they end up escaping, and then that leads into find my pages. Yeah, actually, it pretty much they're just like, yeah, you know, just find some items, give them to me, get ready to escape. They end up escaping, but the dragon gets damaged, and they land in the middle of a forest, and then it enters its prison. Really worth watching. It has its moments where it's actually really cool. Like, it has its moments. It has a barrier to entry. Like, you have to get through the kissing and like the more extreme stuff that they do with each other. But like, if you can get through that, or if that like doesn't bother you at all, then you know, it has some really cool fight scenes. Like really cool. But yeah, it has a bit of a barrier to entry. Kissing, yeah, and a bit more beyond that. It's one of those I'm going to tell you another story real quick. I went to an anime convention one time, and it was a Type Moon panel. There was no one from Type Moon there, but it was just a bunch of nerds who like Type Moon, and we all talked about it, and like the two guys are like supposedly huge Type Moon buffs, but anyway, they mentioned it. Here, okay, please, I'm just quoting what they said. This is in 2017, but in the words of these two guys running the panel, they had said, you know, they're like, Prisma Ilya is pretty cool, but you have to get through the sexualization of the kid characters. And then someone in the crowd said, if you can't get past that, you don't need to be watching anime. Then like the whole crowd started clapping and laughing. No, not really laughing. They were just like clapping and like cheering. And then me at the time was like, man, so you guys shouldn't be saying things like that like out loud. Like, and everyone go, yes. Like, actually, that's what happened. And it's like I'm glad that you guys like Prisma Ilya like that. It's like I like it too, but like when that stuff comes on, I'm usually just like patiently waiting for like when something cool happens again. I don't know, but like yeah, those guys said it best. Like if you can get past that part, it has some really cool stuff that happens in it. Like it's actually like really cool. It's just there's that barrier to entry, and that's the barrier to entry. It's really funny sometimes too. But again, there's a barrier to entry. Oh, but back to that story I was talking about. There's a school arc, like every anime ever seems to have this in a fantasy setting. So I guess it happens in Western adult fantasy books too. But the main character is like, well, now that I've escaped from that factory, I might as well go into another institution, the institution of learning. And they just try and like blend in, and the Iron Dragon, despite being wounded, it has reality altering powers, so it changes everyone's memories into like thinking that the main character's been around there forever, and she's just like, yeah man, I've always been here. And everyone's just like, oh okay, cool. Makes sense, yeah, you've always been here. But yeah, and then it's like a whole school arc, and the school arc is mostly, you'd think it's like, oh, so she's like learning magic and stuff, and it's like, no, not really, it's mostly her just being miserable. Like, I don't know, she's just like me for real, I guess, but it's mostly her being like, man, life sucks even outside the factory. And the dragon's like using its reality warping powers, and there's like these small race of ants that are sentient, and they were at war with a bunch of other ants, but the dragon uses its powers to convince them that they all need to help fix the dragon. Yeah, Kudoe is the girl from Prisma Ilya. Nothing interesting really happens in that arc, except for like, there's a big character's introduced, and the main character meets this guy and falls in love with him again. And it's like, man, this is great. Like, I just was having a terrible time because the last guy that I loved ceased to exist. And then this guy was like, yeah, you're so cool, I'm gonna tell you my true name. And then she's all like, that happened bad the last time someone did it, but let's give it a whirl. And they had the same true name as the last guy, which means that she had fallen in love with the same person, just like their reincarnation that somehow aged up immediately to her age. And then she's just like, well dang. And then she does like something. She like uses his true name against him and like erases him from reality so that he can never be reincarnated again, which is kind of extreme and unnecessary if you ask me. Like, bro didn't do nothing except for like exist and fall in love, and they're just like, you know what? You're done. We're taking you out of the cycle of life, death, and reincarnation. And then it's around this time, like the next arc, so the Iron Dragon leaves, and bro's like, yeah, while you were like going to school and being hated by everyone, I was learning the sword and I had all these people repair me. I'm leaving now. And she goes to like magic college, and that's where the book really starts like getting into its stride, and we find out a bunch of the lore. There's also, that's the part where it becomes an adult fantasy novel, because it's kind of like, to bring up another Fate reference, it's kind of like, remember how in the original Fate Stay Night like visual novel, how Seaman had a bunch of magical energy in it, and that's why Saber and Shiro had to fornicate so that she could get like a boost in magical power. There's kind of like a concept like that, but it was like mages. So the main character couldn't just like innately use magic, so she had to use copulation as like a catalyst, getting erotic energies. So that like starts like the next arc of her learning to do that, and like being a student of like a witch, and then like doing this, that, and the third. We also find out that like there's a bunch of Earth world stuff in this fantasy world, because they're forcibly bringing stuff over like isekai style, just like kidnapping kids when they're born and taking them to this fantasy world and stuff like that. And like one of the big moments is, or not really big moments, but a moment that we really see that that's the case, is that the main character joins elf high society for, you know, obvious reasons, because one of the reasons she escaped from these, like, the factory that I didn't mention, is because she saw what they do to human women when they get to a certain age. They just like breed them like cattle style, just like have them in like sties, and then they just are forced to just pump out a bunch of half elves so that the half elves can pilot the dragons. Oh, the thing too was that humans seemingly can do it better, but elves are losers and terrible people, so they only want elves to be in power. Also, they claim that you had to be a virgin to be able to pilot one of the iron dragons, which we find out later in the series is not true at all, because the main character pilots, you know, the dragon that saved her, and she becomes like an erotic witch who gets their power from copulation. So it's like, you guys are just lying, but whatever. Oh, but yeah, the part that I remember really big in the book was like, they're at like a show for elf high society, and they have an orc, and they cut off the orc's arms, and they inject him with an aphrodisiac. And then like they describe how like erect that orc's phallus is, and the throbbing and this, that, and the third. But then you're like, okay, well, what's gonna happen now? But now what happens is that they talk about how the elf starts like reciting like a Coke commercial, like for the soda. It also had its eyes gouged out too. So like that was like, to put him in like a trance, they did that, and he was able to like repeat things like broadcasting commercials from the like human world. But he could only do it because he was in like this specific state like of like misery. Of like, because you know previously it was shown that fornication held power and like magical energies. So somehow by doing that to that orc, he was like a conduit, I guess, to like Earth as we know it, and it was like repeating things. Like they were talking about Coke and other like products and just repeating commercials like word for word. And the main character is all like, why does that sound familiar? A part that I skipped was that when she was in like the magical high school that really wasn't teaching magic, but was just like regular school, there was a principal who was like a really, really decrepit and old elf, and he kissed her on the lips, and when he did that, she saw like herself working in a diner as like a single mom on like the regular Earth world. But she thought that it was just like illusory magic, but then like she has that moment where she hears that guy talking about Coke, and then she's like, why do I know what Coke is? Well, anyway, like a bunch of stuff happens, and it's not that like noteworthy, but she's like miserable. Something happens in her life, like she's kind of just been like sleeping around and just can't find joy in doing anything anymore. And the Iron Dragon approaches her and is all like, hey dog, like I know your life sucks right now, but do you want to destroy the universe together? And then she agrees. And then the Iron Dragon's like, okay, cool. It's like, we don't have like the good fuel like we did back when we escaped from the factory, but what I need you to do is give me the 100 souls of different men, and I can have enough power to break through the multiverse. And then she's like, gotcha. So like the last stretch, like before the final like climax, is the main character. She starts becoming like, I don't know, what would you call it, like a Venus flytrap? Where she's like just attracting a bunch of guys and going out every night and effectively kidnapping them. She takes them home, and during copulation, she would like do this thing where she sucks their soul out and puts it in the Iron Dragon, and they were burning the souls like it was like coal. And they do that to 100 guys. And then they're like, okay, time to go and destroy the universe. So they do that. They like do this thing where they fly like super fast, and they break through the universe, and they end up at this palace. And they meet who's effectively like a god, effective, of like the multiverse. The singular one god of the multiverse. And of course, you know, it's like a Roriko created character. Just little girl of the week. And then like they get in there and they're like, okay, we're gonna destroy you. And then she's like, nice try. Teleports behind you. And she turns the dragon into just like a regular lizard. It's still made of metal, but it's just like small, and puts it in a jar. And then she starts lecturing the main character and is like, why have you ruined your life? And then she's like, well, why did you ruin my life? You're like the god of everything. It's like, you did this to me. And then she's like, no, I've done everything in my life to try and make it better. Like, I've done everything in my power because you had a hard life. You were taken from your reality, and you've been forced to live in this fantasy world. It's like, I just wanted you to have a good time after you escaped from it, like the factory. And then she's like, well, what do you mean by that? And she's like, well, first of all, I tried to give you, you know, a lover while you were there, but you ended up killing him. And then she's like, honest mistake. And then she's like, but then the second time, like, you didn't just kill that guy, you removed him from the cycle of life, death, and reincarnation, so he's like dead. And then she's again like, my fault, OG, like, I didn't realize like that these were gifts. I thought it was just like my life sucking. And then she gets all depressed from being told this, that effectively her life sucks because of her own actions. Which, I mean, like, honestly, dog, like, honestly, if an omnipotent being told me that my own life, that it was my own doing, like, there was actually no adversity in my life, and that I am the reason that my life sucks, you know what I mean? I'd be all like, dang, man, like, I guess I'll just die, like, this stinks. But instead, that elf that showed her like herself working in a diner, he does something, and like it's her punishment, where she has to be sent out of the magical world and has to live like in the human world. So she just like wakes up, and she's a single mother and works at a diner, barely making ends meet. Which, I mean, I guess that's pretty hard cosmic punishment to have to be a single parent working, you know, in the service industry, specifically like restauranting. Yeah, actually, I think that's pretty rough. Like, I mean, it's doable. It's not the worst thing in the world. People do it all the time. But I'm just saying, like, to go from being like a magical individual where like your life is magic and this, that, and the third, and now you're like working at a McDonald's, barely making ends meet. That's pretty big, like, cosmic punishment, I think. But whatever. She also doesn't really remember her time in it at this point. She just kind of like has like a really distant memory of being in a magical world, but just thinks it was a really super in-depth dream. The latter part of the book is her being in the human world and getting her life together. I don't know. What I've told you is like a really generalization of the first book, which I think is the best one in the series, like by far. If it at all sounded interesting, I really recommend to read it, because like while it being like what do kids call it, smut? Despite it being an erotic book, I really think some of the concepts in it are really, really cool. Like the whole like, I don't know, the isekai sense to it, where like they're stealing the human babies and raising them in factories. That's pretty cool. And I thought the world itself was pretty cool when we actually got to see it, and it wasn't about like, I don't know, coming of age type story. Like I thought those moments are really good. The second book's pretty cool too. But the first one's definitely the best one. Now from what I've said, do you want me to talk about the second book, or do we want to just like close this up? What a high person sees and they take too much of everything. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you came in like past the beginning description of the book, so we can accredit some of that to that, but like, it is pretty loosely explained. Like a lot of the stuff you kind of just have to figure out on your own. I've never heard anyone else ever talk about this book, so I really like to talk about it. And I love to think how I like got into this series, because someone was selling 2 of the books and some other book on eBay, and I just kind of like bought them in a lot for really cheap. It came with another adult fantasy book, but this is like the 4th book in the series that I bought, so I wanted to buy the first 3. And I remember I was looking at reviews for it, and I saw someone left a review, and they're like, well, the book's good, but I don't believe that elves wouldn't be bisexual, because how can you live for thousands of years and not be bisexual? And I was like, you know, honestly, and there was just like some like old white lady that left the comment. I'm like, you know what, Martha, like you're right, like I agree with you, but I wouldn't let something like that like detract from my enjoyment of the book. If you're saying the rest of it's good, why is that what's like turning you off to this? Like, it's like clearly you don't read for the story, you read for ulterior motives. But whatever. Well, since no one said anything, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about the second book, because like I said, I like talking about this book series. I thought it was neat when I read it, but like, I don't know, like shrug emoji. Thinking about it years later, I'm like, you know, that was a pretty good like that was a pretty good first book, an alright second book, and a bad third book, but I really liked the world. Like, I like the concepts of it all. It just wasn't really executed that well in like a lot of parts. And what's your question? Bro said, Shitsumon ga aru desu. I read Heroes of Olympus, never heard of it. It's an amazing book. Well, I mean, I'll keep it in mind if I ever get into like a regular book reading mode. I'll definitely check it out. Well, I'll definitely keep it in mind at least. You have to get up at 6, so you're gonna head out. We'll salute the sun and have some fun, Cyrano-san. It's been nice talking with you. This, that, and the third you've already heard. Spread the joy. Eat some soy. And have a nice day, you friendly boy. What was I gonna say? Oh, we can still talk about the second book. It's about, instead of being about like the main character that we saw, because you know they got sent to the human world, and the latter part of the book was about them getting their life together. Now it's about a half elf, and they have the iron dragons, and they kind of pilot them like planes. We don't have to. Oh, do you not want to? We usually have this discussion like every 2 or 3 months. And bro says, but go on. Okay. So yeah, it's following this elf, and she comes from, you know, a royal family of sorts, and she's just a pilot and living life free of strife. But then she gets back from one of her missions, and she's being accused. Okay, so like I mentioned before, to be a pilot of an iron dragon, you have to be a virgin. That's like the big caveat. It's like, yeah man, you have to be a half elf, and you have to be a virgin. So there was both men and women that piloted it, and the same rule applied to both of them. But the main character gets accused of losing her virginity, and then she's like, but it's not true. It's like, I just got home. How could I have done that? And then they're like, sorry chief, but we're gonna court-martial you, and then we're gonna kill you. And then she's like, isn't this like a little extreme? But then she decides to escape, and she joins like, she finds that it's like all part of a ploy, so where they're doing something illegal and they just like want her to be the scapegoat. So they're trying to just make her be like, yeah man, this is the evil of all evils. So she's trying to clear her name, and she has to, I don't remember, she has to like go and get some item. She's like doing a bunch of odd jobs for this like evil organization. Her father was a human, but at least I think her father was a human. I want to say he was. I'd drawn a blank, but anyway, her father was like the lord of the darkness, like a criminal mastermind. But I think her mom was just like a regular elf. And it's about like her being on the run the entire book and always just barely escaping pursuers. And she's traveling around with this little girl who has like reality warping powers. And if you read the first book, you know who it is. You know it's that multiverse god girl. But for some reason she's incarnated and is here. And yeah, I think that's what she's doing. She's trying to take the god girl from one location to the other. And there's pursuers, both with the elves trying to arrest her, and also people who are trying to kidnap the girl. And the whole book is really just like their exploits and them getting into trouble and having to get out. It even has some time travel in it, and like we get to see her meet her father for the first time, and he's just kind of like a guy. That's it. Like, it's not that interesting. But we find out at one point too the reason that she was going to be used as the scapegoat, and it's like something really lame too. Like, not as in like it's a badly written reason, but it's like, really, that's the reason you were trying to incriminate her? It was something real simple, but for whatever reason, the higher ups in the organization are like, yeah, we're gonna make her take the fall. And then she's like, so you guys knew the whole time? And they're like, yeah, we were just, we just hate you. That's it. The book ends up ending with them bringing a sea god up to the surface, and the sea goddess of sorts is like, finally, my husband's incarnated, let's take over the world. And they do that, and they keep the main character with them for no reason really. Like, they didn't have to continue to make her miserable, but they decide to. And she's just like mad. And she's like, first of all, my life was ruined because of people were claiming that I was fornicating when I wasn't. Then she's like, now that I have no chance of ever joining the Elven military because it's been destroyed, I can't even do that to begin with anymore. So then she gets mad, and they gave her this, it was like a conch shell, like the ones you blow into and it makes like a loud sound. Well, they gave that to her, and they're like, hey, whatever you do, don't blow into this conch because it will destroy the entire universe. And then she's like, she just gets mad, and she's like, you know what? I think I'm going to blow the horn. And she does, and then it destroys the whole universe. Some other stuff happened before that, and like a little bit after that too, I think. But like, that's pretty much how it ends. Is that she's just like, man, I'm so mad. I'm going to destroy the earth. Or whatever they called their magical world. The second book definitely had more actual action in it, but if you were reading it for the adult content, then like, it sucks to suck, I guess. But if you want more of like on the run type story, then yeah, it's pretty cool in that regard. And I guess there's a lot more like lore of the world and stuff, but I still think the first one's better. The third book is just like straight up bad, because it follows that main character from the second book's dad's life about how they came to power and like the criminal underworld. But the criminal underworld stuff is like not really touched upon a lot. So it's like lore no one asks for, you know what I mean? It's like midichlorians in Star Wars. No one cared about there being like a scientific explanation to the Force, but I guess there is one now, so like, cool, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It's like, didn't ask, but thanks for sharing. Oh, the main character from the first book shows up in it too. Because it's somewhat of a prequel. No, it straight up is a prequel, but we get to find out they existed at the same time. And they touch upon how, like, she sucked the souls of 100 guys. And it's like, how did no one really, like, notice or say anything? Well, they touch upon that in that book. Because the main character gets hit on by the previous main character from the first book. And he turns down her advances. And then one of the elves is like, yeah, you really shouldn't hang around her. She hangs out with a bunch of guys, but like, we never know what happens to them. They just disappear after they go to her room. Which again has me like, how does no one like think that's weird? Like, you guys know that it's happening, but you're just not doing anything about it? You know, knowing about evil, not saying anything about evil, is just as bad as committing evil. I found the translation of Fate Los Haryar. You know, that one light novel that came out like 3 years ago? I was gonna start reading that here soon. When? I don't know, not sure yet. I want to read a couple other manga first, then I'm gonna read it, but I'm kind of excited to. It's actually a sequel to Fate Apocrypha. But less so like it's a direct sequel, I think, and more it's just like a same universe sequel. You know what I mean? Again, I'm looking forward to it. It's a Scandinavian Holy Grail war. It's got nothing but Scandinavian servants and Percival for some reason. That one I don't get. Like, it's 6 Scandinavian new servants and then Percival, who's, you know, the Lancer. Is Mordred in it? Yo Mama's in it. Yeah, it's got Percival in it, which I was just like, I'm still just like, I wonder why. Like, if this was in Germany, I'd understand, since Percival was a popular mythological character in Germany. And they spelled it with like a Z, it's like Percival. Like, again, if it was a German Holy Grail war, I'd be like, makes sense, Percival's there. But why is Percival in Norway? Hvorfor er Percival I Norge? Har han slektninger I Norge? Liker han norsk kultur? Eller en annen grunnsak? Det vet jeg ingenting. Men jeg liker Percival, så jeg vil lese boken. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Chief. You know what I mean. Did you read or watch Fate Apocrypha? Why didn't that kill? You've watched like half of it? I see. Well, watch the rest of it and you'll know if Morgan's in it or not. Silver Surfer, I hunger. But I don't want to go get nothing to eat. You know, I wanted to get 1,000 of these, but I don't think unless I like really put the grind to the nose stone, that's gonna happen. Like, I'm really gonna have to get nasty with it. Like, the drop rate of that item is abysmal to say the least. And also, I really don't like how you can't see how many chests you've opened. Yeah, you can't. You can just see like how many chests you have. That's not what I want to know. I want to know how many have I opened. Get owned, bot. You know what I mean, Chief? And like you click on this and it just tells you what you're gonna get from it. Well, what you gonna do? Keep grinding, that's what. Message deleted. Not you following suit with the evilness. Then it go. You know that one. Oh, I had a video playing this whole time. A YouTube video that was muted. That's really funny. That's actually hilarious. $86. I guess my main goal is to blow up and act like Lancelot got to Bond 12. So I guess we'll see how far I am when that happens. This grindage really takes a lot out of me. Alright everyone. How about we do this real quick? I'll make a poll. Okay, we got a poll going. You decide the fate of my meal. Am I gonna eat something? No more skateboard videos? Not today, at least. I mean, there's probably some we could find, but we were having a hard time finding them last time after a couple hours, remember? And like the ones we were finding, they were either like, "Yeah, it's pretty good," or it was like, "This is pretty uninteresting." At least I thought so. We'll have to wait until around Halloween this year, and then they'll have another one of those Halloween bomb episodes. Hey, the polls evil third thing. Man, what was the evil third thing? Is that like I get to eat, but I have to throw it up? The only things I can really say that we could maybe watch is that there's a Smash Ultimate tournament going on in Japan. It's Umebura. And it's in its loser semis. I've kind of been clicking on and off of it every so often. Usually if there is a player that I thought is cool, I'd be like, oh, cool. Leaf is on, or oh, cool. Akakikusu is on. So on and so forth. But it's kind of gotten to the, you know, like last like 4 people. 4 or 5. No, it's top 4, I believe. And I've kind of tapped out because it's the usual suspects. Including Ashimo. It's Ashimo, Hurt, Miya, and Akora are the people in top 4 right now. So those characters, it's Snake, Game & Watch, Steve, Minecraft, and Ryu. Now, we hope Ashimo can win. Ashimo has done it before. But like, I don't know, he just got owned by Hurt. He's fighting a Snake. It's kind of a bad matchup. Ashimo usually like eats bad matchups for breakfast. Unironically, they are like the Ryu that actually gets it done. There's Jazo, but like Jazo is no Ashimo. You usually just like to watch trips to Japan. Do you know who Vagrant Holiday is? They're the only person who I like to watch trip videos of myself. They don't make them. They have like 6 videos from like 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, that's real content right there. Vagrant Holiday. Listen, if you've never seen a Vagrant Holiday video, we might just have to stop doing what we're doing and watch one right now. I've talked about it before on stream that we'd watch Vagrant Holiday, but we've never actually done it. I didn't want to stay up that late because I need to be up in like 6 hours. But like, I'm all about teaching the younger generation about real content. I don't mean real as in I'm saying what you watch is fake, but I just think it's real as in it's based in epic. We've got 1 or 2 options. Either we do this, man, you got me real like, I'm real fired up. I really want to watch Vagrant Holiday. Like, I be sitting around sometimes and I'm like, I want to watch one of those videos and live vicariously through someone else. It's cool. So what he does is that he goes to like, he's gone all over Europe, he's gone to Japan, and what he does is that he goes to these countries and he doesn't get a hotel. All he has is his backpack, and he just like sleeps in places he's not supposed to. Like one time he was sleeping in like the stairwell of a hotel, and then in Japan he was sleeping in parks. He was like sleeping underneath a bridge in France, and like he just like does stuff illegally. Like there is a cathedral under construction when he was in France, and he just climbed to the top of it at night when no one was looking. Like top 10 out of 10 content. But his videos are all pretty much an hour long. So like I have to be ready to like really blow out my back. But I wanted to get up early. If only you had brought this up like an hour ago, I would have definitely been game for it. How much is left on this album? We're on song... actually, this is the last song on this album. Alright, Chief. Alright. Okay. Maybe, just maybe, we'll watch some Vagrant Holiday. One time we had something like this where we were gonna watch something for someone's sake, and then they left the stream. And it was like, well, joke's on them. I just wanted to watch this anyway. Abroad in Japan. Don't know who that is. Didn't ask. Don't care. Plus Kamehameha. I actually kind of really hate watching videos of people travel and do stuff. But you know what I do like? I like Vagrant Holiday, because they're kind of like the evil version of that. I really don't know who Abroad in Japan is. Now see, the name rings a bell. I think I had a friend that was into them. I want to put emphasis on had a friend. Yeah, they're like some British guy who like smells really bad and like lives life in Japan and just like tries to show off the stuff that happens in Japan, right? That's like their whole thing. It's like what they do. They're like, check it out, guys. A bowl of rice, and then they get beaten up and the whole place explodes, and then it starts raining fire. Listen, I try not to consume content that's actual real people. Like, I actually try to like avoid it, like it's deadly to me, because it is. Whenever I see real people on screen doing real things, it turns into a toxic bile in my body and shaves years off my life. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to go and I'm going to get some type of snack, I guess, and then we'll get ready to get oiled up and maybe check out some Vagrant Holiday. If I come back and the vibes don't feel right, I'm going to kill you. There is no joke. I am going to hunt you down and destroy you. Your life is over. And you better be ready for that. So BRB.
This channel.
No! No!
We're back, and we're on the Moedu Kudai screen. So yeah, as you can see, the vibes were off, but then I see that you used the Lancelot emoji times 1,000,000,000, so you get a pass this time. You're not gonna die yet. So because we're full of evil and hatred, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just watch all of his videos. The Japan one, yes, is definitely by far the best one. But we're gonna go down the list, alright? So we're gonna start by watching Riot Holiday. And then we'll watch them all in order. Oh, where's the game? Oh, sorry, it's not playing music.
Get the fuck out of here. But they all went to shit due to COVID, so I can't leave. My flights got canceled, the borders closed, there's been nothing going on for 2 months, and now there's this huge protest. Normally I don't give a shit about stuff like this because this city bitches so much I might as well be married to it. But people seem to be a little bit more pissed off this time, so maybe I'll see some rioting.
I got a naan. I'm gonna eat this naan. And some hummus. So expect limited comments from me for like maybe 10 minutes.
Shit.
Is the sound alright? Do you need me to kill you? Do you hate your life and want me to take your worldly possessions and finances from you? Because I can.
Ah, fuck. Ah, fuck. I gotta get away from this shit. Ah, fuck. I got a face full of that fucking tear gas. Ah. Shit does not feel good, man.
Yeah, I've been tear gassed before.
Oh,
it's not fun. A bit louder.
My eyes open here. Whole damn face feels like it's on fire. See what's in this direction. The old Navy's been looted. See how people spruced up the store? Pretty haphazardly, as you can see. People are shopping. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, I don't really care too much about Old Navy, so I'm gonna get out of here. Here we got some people destroying some police cars. I'm trying to light one on fire here. What they got in here? We probably got a gun. This one's running.
That shirt's on fire.
This one's on fire.
Put your mask on, dude. You're committing crimes, bro. They can't fucking see you. Motherfuckers are taking pictures of you, bro.
Well, they just lighted a whole line of police cars on fire.
Yeah, bro.
Probably shouldn't be staying this close to it. It's probably gonna blow up. Head back a little bit. Oh, that one's on fire too. Shit. Probably go to the other side of the street. It's probably better over there. That's really gonna ruin the blue book value, I think. Fuck. Doing some Instagram posing.
Is it too loud or is it good? Because I need to turn it down a bit. It's too loud for me.
Nigga, I'm ready to start cracking niggas. I can't even lift it.
Look at my face. Let the law come find me.
Got people destroying shit over here. People destroying shit over here.
I don't know where this is at.
go in here. Some water.
If I were to take something, I don't want to take like the mini fridge. It'd be cool to have a fridge that just says like
I don't
Dasani.
feel like eating chips right now. What kind of chips are they anyway? Original? I don't think I'll pass. Shit. No cash.
Imagine coming in for your daily bread tomorrow, you know, and you see that your Jimmy John's you work it's been just destroyed. I'd just go home.
Hey, what's up? What's up? No, I'm just by myself. Yeah. Alright. That's getting pretty fucking crazy.
Some people own businesses are actually struggling right now, okay?
But like,
Yeah, I know.
here's my
So
question.
Why fight each other? Why fight people who are also...
That guy before, he asked him, he's like, are you undercover? It's like, if you ask someone that, they're gonna tell you no. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like asking someone, it's like, are you going to kill me? When they have you in a dark alley with a knife pointed at your neck, they're gonna probably say no. So you're like, oh, okay, cool. And like, you have to be more like sly with when you ask questions like that. Get them to slip up and say something fed like, no one's gonna answer a direct question.
struggling? You can't stand here all day. I can't. This was peaceful until the cops got here. Exactly. How about you?
What?
Are you in favor of the looting?
I'm just observing.
Well, I can't do much, but at least I'll stop this thing from getting...
What is this place anyway?
I don't even know. It looks like they sell plants.
Yeah.
No, it's like a salad bar.
Yeah. I guess so. Alright, man. Well, good luck with that.
I like that answer. Oh man, good luck with that.
It's fucking makeup. You think the last thing you'd be concerned about in a riot? Whatever, I guess. I don't know, makeup's not really my thing either. Just not finding anything during this shopping trip. It's a real disappointment. Looks like somebody's smashing some shit up over there. This is pretty crazy.
See, that was cool. I'd steal the Jimmy John signs too. That's funny.
Everybody's going nuts over perfume. I think it's already destroyed, man. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't look good. People are trying to come out of there and there's cops here.
He's stuck inside. That guy's stuck. He's stuck. He's still stuck.
Oh no, bro, stuck
I'm really
inside.
glad I'm not in there still. I didn't steal anything, so if anything, I'm just guilty of trespassing.
No, see, this was because of a protest that was going on, and like this, that, and the third happened. So it's not like this is just like for no reason. It was like an aggravated thing where it was like a protest, and then like they said this all happened once the cops showed up, and it went downhill from there. That's what the guy was saying at the beginning.
Starbucks is getting trashed. Let's check that out.
Ma'am, are you protesting us?
That was funny. That's a funny exchange.
Fuck you, white woman. Ma'am, are you protesting us or the police?
The police, but we don't need to already hurt businesses that are hurt because of COVID.
That is true.
Our president doesn't control people like us. We're doing that. Our president does
We don't have to be the thugs that he calls us.
He dehumanized us.
If you do this, if you destroy companies, people's businesses, families, businesses who use this to feed themselves, you are no different from the people we are fighting.
This is something I don't quite understand. See, the police had this whole thing blocked off right here, but now it looks like they're back there now. And I'm no conspiracy theorist, or maybe I am, but it almost seems like they want people to riot.
What's your job description? What is your job description?
This is the North Face. People are just cleaning this shit out. It's fucking insane, man. Shit.
Bro, this bitch is empty. It's empty here.
They all just shit their pants. They're waiting for shit to drop. Look, right here, boom. You have to go inside. You got seat back.
Hey, bounce out, bounce out.
Bro, that's why it's called Riot Holiday. Because it was a protest. But then it became this once police involvement like tried to shut it down or something. Weren't you not paying attention at the beginning when they talked about that? Anyway. Yes, this is no longer a peaceful protest. It was aggravated into, well, what he called a riot at the beginning.
You know, honestly, this is actually probably better use for this thing.
That's really funny. That guy fell.
was trying to break the door. The door was wide open.
And that was pretty funny too. I like his humor. And that guy's strong.
Break that shit! Hey, they're behind us!
Oh shit, I gotta run through this. Ugh. You do not want to breathe that shit in. Ugh. It's in my eyes, it burns. Whole face burns. Shit.
Yeah, that's the worst part I think about tear gas, like the way it makes your skin feel. Because like you'll be over it and it's like, oh, my lung burning stop, but your flesh like hurts. I gotta go put this bowl I just finished eating out of in the sink. So we're gonna have a quick BRB. It'll be just a quick one.
this channel.
No! No!
We're back. Hang on. You said it probably sinks into your pores. In my experience, it'd be more like a water vapor splashing you, know what I mean?
Hey, I need a shit. Go in there, bro. Get what you want. Put your mask on. Put your mask on.
Where it's like it's on you and it's like thin layer.
What's up with the cashier, though? That already ran through the cashier? Well, I didn't have a cashier. You motherfucking smart.
I would never want to participate in something like this, because you know that one guy who was just like crying, is like, you pushed me into the fire, you know what I mean? Well, and he was like crying about how they left him behind in there. I feel like that happened to me. Like I'd be like be pushed back, like oh no, and then I'd be like caught.
No, they fucking set the store on fire.
Why?
Sprinklers, no!
I don't know why they're all running.
Yeah, let's stay with you, bro.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Yeah. What do I need that for?
See, you say things, and I'm not gonna argue, but like you have like zero context, and it seems like when you've been given the context, you're like, bottom text. I don't know. It's like you see a vulture eating a dead coyote, and you're just like, disgusting. It's like you don't know the full picture.
Hey, let this man get through real quick, man.
Honey, that is what a riot is by definition. It's a riot when you start destroying and taking stuff. It's a protest when you're just like walking the streets with signs and, obstructing traffic. This is a riot. It went from being a protest into a riot. It was aggravated into being this. You know what I'm saying? A sleeping bear is a bear that's asleep. When you hit it with a stick, it gets up and tries to attack you. That's kind of like what happened here. It's not like they came to the streets like, okay guys, let's blow this place up. Like they said, it was a protest at the beginning, and then police aggravated it, and then one thing led to another, and now they're at this point.
These guys took the whole demo board out of the store, and now they're trying to get the phones off of it.
Man, fucking loot out too.
Not the dry cleaning. Oh man, we just got like back-to-back CE drops. That's crazy. And it's not the CE I need. Listen, dog, if you keep talking like this, I'm going to get the guillotine. You know what else is disgraceful? Being a part of a system that oppresses everyone, it feels like, with no way to change it. And this is the closest you can do to try and do anything, and it still makes no change, as the word of the people means nothing.
It's an empty jewelry store.
That's how it is? Yeah. And you know what? If this happened every day, the system could be changed. There's millions of people and like 40 people in charge. It can be done. Just no one wants to die for the cause, and neither do I, dog. I don't want to be someone who goes out protesting for better whatevers and gets shot and killed. You know what? Even worse, getting shot and living and having a medical bill.
Can I
Go
pray with
in
you?
there, go in there.
Can I pray with you?
No, it's okay.
Come on, God loves you so much.
I know he do.
Come on. Come on, Jesus loves you. Can I pray with you?
Pray with
Jesus,
me, man.
bless her, Lord. Bless them, God.
He's fearless.
Come on, look out, look out, look out. Damn, what's the recording for, bro?
Everyone's stealing from the pharmacy. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you, dog. I'm completely against destroying small businesses. I would say they need to destroy more CVS, they need to destroy more Target, more Starbucks, more Jimmy John's, like all those big brands. But like destroying like that one guy who's stopping them from destroying that salad bar, I'm all for that. Like, don't destroy the salad bar, destroy the big restaurants and everything. This one's a good one. We'll watch this one, then I'm probably gonna go to bed.
Look at this place. Look at all the buildings, the infrastructure. What you're looking at is McNeil Island, completely abandoned for the most part.
Well, see, the thing is that, like, human greed is what destroys us all. But, you know, the little guy wants to have the human greed, too. The average Joe wants to get everything they want at the oppression of the others. So it's their chance. It's their chance to have it all.
You might call it an answer.
This island is where Washington State sends its worst and most dangerous sex offenders, whose crimes and personality disorders are considered so extreme that they need to be separated from society.
As it turns out, there's a lot of abandoned stuff on that island. Also, hundreds of compulsive pedophiles and violent sex offenders are locked up over there. So it would be illegal and very dumb to go there voluntarily. And I don't think anybody's been stupid enough to go over there to explore it. Until now.
Well, watch this instead, since you were so offended by the riot. Feet.
All right, faster I get this done, faster I can get off the beach and get this thing hidden. Shoes, pants, coat. And the rest of this is for later. I better get changed. All right, that's better. Now to get this thing hidden. Alright, I think that's pretty invisible for the most part.
Yeah, he does have the Lancelot fit, you're right.
This as well. Alright, that's good enough. I'm gonna come back tonight for it anyway.
Like, actually,
gotta
if
keep a
only he had a
low
purple
profile.
shirt underneath.
If anybody sees me out here, even if it's from a distance, they might mistake me for an escaped rapist. And they're probably not gonna be too quick to let that go. I'm gonna take time for a quick meal before I start exploring. Nothing too fancy, just a peanut butter sandwich. There was a sign not far from where I landed. I'm gonna go see what it says. State of Washington, McNeil Island Commitment Center. Keep clear 100 yards. Yeah, I'll get to that when I leave. Alright, let's see what's on this island. It's getting dark now, it'll be easier to move around.
I'm not sure I actually want to be walking on this road, but it's not much of a choice. There's brambles on either side. If I hear anybody coming, I guess I'll just have to dive off to the side and deal with getting thorns up my ass. Alright, so down the road, looks like you got some boats on a dock. And then over here, you got some buildings with some lights. I don't know if that means there's somebody around, but it should be easy enough to sneak past this. Wait, what is that noise? Shit. Okay, they didn't come this way. Probably going toward the commitment center. Going pretty fucking fast too. I gotta avoid those lights, so I'm gonna stick to the shadows. My map tells me there's a side road up here, so I'm gonna aim for that. The only problem, I just saw 2 cars drive down this road right in front of me, and I'm gonna need to use that road to get to the side road. This is sketch as fuck. Those cars are traveling at like fucking 70 miles an hour, goddamn. Doesn't give me a whole lot of notice. Oh shit, there's some fucking lights coming. Fuck. Oh shit. Alright.
That scares me. I don't want to lay in thorns. That'll hurt.
I think I'm good. Fuck it, I'm just gonna book it. Alright, here's the side road. Hopefully they don't fucking use this. Woods to my left. I could dive into those if I need to. Looks like there's an abandoned house back here. Guess I'll check it out. Think I'm far enough away from people I could probably use this large flashlight.
Whoa.
Much better. Of course it's locked. I'll check the back door. This window will work. What's in here? Old music. Alright, this is what's left of the kitchen. And this is not the most appetizing thing to put into a kitchen.
A cage? Yeah, what was that for? Like live poultry?
There's dishes still left in the dishwasher. Oh shit, this place is fucking moldy as hell. Probably shouldn't be breathing in here. Alright, the smell of mold hit me pretty bad in there. I'm gonna stay away from that. See what's upstairs.
Going
more
up the
mold.
stairs. Was that a bat?
Looks like more mold.
Yeah, that was like a bat that just flew by him. He didn't even notice. That's scary.
Alright, well, it's an abandoned house. I'm gonna get out of here. Looks like there's another building back here. What are they using this for? An office? It's a photo of a bunch of cops and dogs. Correctional Peace Officers Foundation. Must be some sort of cop office. Ah, TV 33. Pierce College. How the fuck did it end up here then? Is this where they kept the dogs? Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. Found some more houses up here. Oh, what's this? No munitions training in this house. Blue gun training only. Alright. I don't know what that's about. Oh, what the fuck? There's furniture in here. I'm pretty sure nobody lives here.
I'd be scared of
hope
like
so.
seeing a specter.
Otherwise, they're not gonna like me very much. Well, there's a dumpster and a porta potty over here. Ammunition.
Yeah, at the beginning, he said this is a prison island where they send the prisoners in Oregon State that are like way too dangerous to be around others and just are like true menaces to society. They send them to this prison island.
Shells and coffee, looks like. I think I stumbled across some sort of training ground. Not sure if it's military, law enforcement, or both. I think I'm gonna move on from this. Alright, well, it looks like I stumbled into a suburban neighborhood. Except it's all abandoned, surrounded by houses. This one looks like a typical boomer house. Let's watch cable TV and eat casserole. Some other time. All of this shit is so overgrown, man. This one looks promising. Ah, nice. Hardwood floors, fireplace. I'll take it. For those wondering why there are so many empty houses on
Something
this
like that,
island,
yeah.
it's because on 2 occasions everyone left. Latest one was in 2010, and the first one was in the 1930s when the federal government took over the entire island, told everyone to fuck off. Of course, there were some that refused to leave, mostly because they were dead. So the feds had their corpses dug up from the local cemetery, sent to the mainland. And some even say they're still voting to this day.
Oh no.
Alright, this is weird. Looks like somebody's actively mowing the lawn to this one. But the windows are all boarded up, so I know there's nobody in there. Why would they do that? Oh, it's because it's a fucking training house. Do not open. Okay, fine, you win. I don't care that much anyway. Alright, enough of these abandoned houses. I'm gonna continue to the real reason I came here. Alright, so what I came to
This
see
is the
in
part
front
you
of me.
wanted to see. You love prison.
Probably can't see it in the camera.
Remember, just yesterday you were like, you love prison so much you wish you lived there?
But maybe I can explain it. So there's actually 2 prisons on this island. Well, technically neither are prisons, because one's a commitment center, and the other one, completely abandoned. So of course I had the wild idea that I would come and try to get into the abandoned one. We got vehicles driving around. Hopefully it's not driving my direction. Okay, it's not. Maybe I can get a closer look. Oh shit, there's another car. See which way it goes. Oh fuck. I'm guessing those buildings over there are active. Ah, the fucking lightning is lighting me up. That's not good. And I can't predict when a car is going to drive down. Alright, I walked up there and took a quick look at it and came back. Probably not going to be too easy getting in there. I mean, it is a fucking prison after all. And a lot of cars keep driving by. Shit, looks like there's one driving right now. If I'm on that road, there's nowhere else to go. So if a car drives by and sees me, game over. This lightning isn't helping either. Alright, well, I've checked the maps and I realized I'm at the completely wrong angle to try to get into this prison. To get into a better angle would require a lot of backtracking, which is going to take up some time. And I don't know how much time I'm going to need to try to figure out how to get in there and to explore it. So this might have to wait till tomorrow night. Fuck. It's no big deal. It's not like I'm in a hurry. Whole damn world's shut down. What else is there to do? There's some other smaller stuff I want to see on this island anyway. So I'll go check that out. Ah, great, it's really starting to fucking come down out here. I gotta find some shelter or I'm gonna get soaked. Ah, this road. I'm pretty sure there's a school down this road. Almost walked right past this without noticing it. There are empty buildings in these woods. And they're not documented on my map at all. It makes you wonder how much this island has hidden. I'm pretty sure the school is supposed to be back here. Yeah, I think I found it. That's some old school American architecture right there. Hopefully the door's unlocked. No, it's not. Well, if this island taught me anything, there's a fucking door unlocked somewhere. I'll find it. Looks like somebody broke the window here. Naughty, naughty. I'm not gonna try to climb through that though. There's another door. It's boarded shut, but it doesn't look boarded too well. Try it out. Nice. Wait, this doesn't look like a school.
It's like a gym.
What the fuck is this? It's a goddamn bowling alley in here.
Oh.
Holy shit. That's pretty cool, actually. This must be the last game played here. Looks like you won. What the fuck is this guy's handwriting? Wow. Alright. Let's do some fucking bowling. Set up some pins here. The perfect rainy day activity. I don't know shit about bowling. So, I'm probably gonna suck at this. Well, that sucked, but
Gutter ball.
I did knock one over, I think.
1.
Let's try it again. I'm not leaving until I get a strike. What the fuck am I talking about? I'd be here all night. Alright, third time's the charm, right? 4 left standing. Not exactly a strike, but probably as good as I'm gonna get at this. Alright, see what else is in here.
See, I would want to do something like that too. That's how you get caught, because like someone sees you, or like you have it and you drop it and they hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
alright, that's probably the best I can do.
that's why only
by
people
hand.
like him who just like come in and go can do
Play
stuff
a
like
game of
this.
billiards.
Because I'd want a souvenir too. Like, I would have wanted to take one of those music books that he found in the first house. That's what I would have wanted to take as a souvenir.
That hole doesn't have a basket. Okay. Believe it or not the worst place I've played that game. Alright. Bowling, darts, billiards. What's next? Church. See if there's a copyright in here. Lord is in this holy temple. Glory be to the Father. 1967. So I guess I should say I still go to church. Just not religiously. Let's check out the basement.
Looks flooded.
Alright, the basement's fucked. Let's go upstairs. There's a whole fucking basketball court up here. It's even got a stage. Doubles as an auditorium.
Bro, that
Nice.
sounds terrible. An upstairs basketball court is so
fucking
noisy.
air in this thing. Not to worry though. I'm a total fucking expert at sucking at basketball. Looks like this back room's got all kinds of stuff in it.
Man, the basement was
Shit, vacuum
flooded.
tubes? Jesus. What system is this for? TI 1982. Huh.
Ah, ooh.
Shit, look at this. 1984? Oh, nice. Bank account numbers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not current. I think a school would have classrooms, right? Well, apparently this one doesn't. Alright,
It
hopefully
looked more like a
stopped raining
church,
by now.
honestly, than more than a school.
Looks
like a
like there's
really
another
big
section of
church.
the building you have to access from outside. See if I'm lucky. Oh, nice. Got spider guts all over me. Shit. Ah, okay. This is where the classrooms are. Wait a minute. That exit sign is on. Is there electricity in here?
Goodbye to 87.
Oh shit, there is. How about water? Does that work? No. It actually works. Holy shit. There's a barge schedule from 2007. 3 years before everybody left a second time. So after the 30s, the only people that remained on the island were those who worked at the prison and their families, which is why there's a school here. But now that everybody's gone, the only residents of this island are the sex offenders. And they're not allowed anywhere near schools. Ah, yeah, Jillian and Spencer, yeah. Wonder what they're up to these days. Alright, well this school is pretty tiny. Just this hallway and a handful of classrooms. Not a whole lot to see here. Oh, looks like there's a pool back here. Looks like the pool's turned into a fucking swamp.
Eek.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be swimming in this anytime soon. Not only is it pitch black when I have the fucking light off, now it's foggy as hell. Is that a building over there? I can't see shit. So many abandoned houses and little buildings on this island that I'm just passing them by without stopping anymore. Alright, well, it's a road here, and there's supposed to be a house at the end of it. It's one of the few ones that has an actual name on my map, so maybe it's significant. Charles Johnson House. That's it. Just looks like an abandoned house to me.
Charles Johnson.
Too. See if the garage is open. Yes, it is.
He has some good humor. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
He's really funny.
Oh shit, what are they doing in here?
Drugs. Like, actually, they are making drugs.
What is this stuff? Is this what I think it is? Is this seriously just a bunch of fucking crystal meth on this goddamn table right here? Is this a fucking meth lab? Alright, what are the ingredients to make meth? Does it involve solvent, paint thinner, bleach, distilled white vinegar? It's all fucking done up in these little bags too. Alright, well, I think I've had about enough of this fucking house. What the fuck? I didn't really expect that. Alright, I'm pretty tired. I think I'm gonna head back to where I'm camped. Get some fucking sleep.
Walter White, yo. You're right. Yeah, it is a Walter White, yo. Cooking meth on the prison island, yo.
Probably time to get up. Alright, I just packed up my stuff, ate a meal. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot I can see during the daylight, but maybe I'll walk around and scope it out. Looks like somebody's driving right by my campsite. Well, to hell with walking around the roads. Maybe I'll take to the beach. I can't go that direction. Some boats over there. Try this way. Let's see what's up this way. Crossroads. Kind of want to see what's down there, but can't exactly just walk through that shit. It's all thorns. And it's on both sides of all the roads. Real pain in the ass. Ah, shit. Even as I was just standing there, I heard a fucking car come through. I had to run back here real quick.
Ooh, another CE drop.
Okay, good. There's a break in the brambles here. Maybe I can go through those woods. Sounds like another car's coming.
And it's not the one I need. Guessing this is autumn. Looks like it with all the red leaves.
Truck.
And how rainy it is. But it's also, I think he's in Oregon, so I think it just rains a lot there.
Well, they can drive around all they want. But at the end of the day, it gets dark. Alright, I thought I could bushwhack it through these woods to go somewhere, but shit is straight up prehistoric, man. Mosquitoes fucking everywhere. My hands sting from nettles. It's pretty slow going. At this point, I'm more concerned with getting out of these fucking woods than going through them. Fucking mosquitoes. Flying pieces of shit.
I know I would get lost and lose all my stuff.
God damn. Alright, good. Back to the road. Now to get the fuck off of it. There's just no good way to move around. I think I'll just chill here and read a book. Not a bad way to spend a day. Well, the tides got a little too high for hanging out on the beach, so I'm back here at my camp, eating some food. And after I finish this, I'm gonna set out. It's getting pretty dark. Alright. Let's do this. This part again. I fucking hate this part. There goes a bus. Missed me by about 30 seconds. 35 miles an hour, my ass. A lot of the roads I'm taking, they're not even on the map. Shit.
Quicksand.
Is that gonna be a fucking problem?
That image is Sakuya.
Just watch my step, I guess. Decided to take a really short detour, check out the warden's house. Shit. There we go. Well, it's just another abandoned house. I don't think I'm going to spend much time with this. It's a pretty nice stairwell though. And there's an incredible amount of rat shit. Beautiful. Let's move on. All right, well, you're not going to be able to see this on camera, but I'm standing on a hill overlooking the prison. It used to be a federal facility, the Alcatraz of the Pacific Northwest. In fact, the Birdman of Alcatraz was actually locked up here for some time, and so was Charles Manson from 61 to 66. It's surrounded by roads and there's some sporadic traffic, so it's going to be a gamble on whether I'm seen or not by going down there, but fuck it, I'm going to try. Actually, it reminds me of something my dad told me once. He said, I don't give a shit about you, because you're just going to end up in prison anyway. Yeah, he was an asshole and I don't really talk to him anymore, but tonight, I'm going to go down there and try to prove him right.
Dang.
Alright, I'm officially in fucking prison. Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I doing? Looks like there's a door back here. There's no way this would be unlocked, right? There's only one way to find out. Oh shit.
Prison.
These tiles have water under them. What? Some noise coming from this bathroom. Oh shit. Is this clothing? Shit. Department of Corrections, Washington, something. Yeah, this is a
Washington
jumpsuit.
State is where he's at then.
I'm tempted to wear it, but not really my style.
But he's in Oregon. My fault.
This is where people lived. Check out one of the cells. Alright, that's the bed, I guess. Table. Toilet's missing. Mirror. Not a lot of space in here. Just imagine being stuck in here for years. Having to wake up to this every day? Fuck that. Never been to prison before. First time. Though I did go to county jail for a month once. It's kind of like this. But I think this is nicer. With all these individual cells, it looks like they don't lock you up in a big room with 30 of your town's most intelligent conversationalists. Drug dealing stories, fuck. Never gets old, I tell you, man. Fuck, it's great. Here's another pod. I'm guessing a lot of this is gonna look the same. Ugh, this one's still got food in it. It's like what's left of somebody's meal. Shaving cream. I guess they weren't allowed to have cans, huh? Looks like some of these still have mattresses in them. Probably not that comfortable.
Ew, I'd be so scared to lay on that.
It's not
Be
that
nasty.
bad. What do you think? Spend the night? No fucking way. Yeah. That
Ew.
doesn't look too good. Ugh. Hope I don't run out of batteries. If I turn this light off, it's pitch fucking black in here. Can't see a fucking thing.
Yeah,
But my
that can
shins are
be a
pretty
lethal
excellent
weapon.
at finding things in the dark, so. Ah, shit, it's raining out here. It was a dark and stormy night at the abandoned prison. Alright, let's see what else is unlocked.
Oh, that said flower,
Yeah, this looks just
but
like
E
the other
lower.
one. There's phones over here. It's RCW 9.73 allows for all inmate calls to be intercepted, recorded, and monitored. Monitor this. Guard station. Nothing good left behind though. Description of confiscated property. Michael Assumption. Unauthorized alteration to knit cap. You don't want to run afoul of the fashion police. Looks like these ones have bunks in them. Shitty desk. No toilet though. I'm guessing these guys had more freedom than the other building. Fuck, it's really coming down out here. All right, I'm gonna guess all these newer buildings kind of look the same. I'm gonna see if I can find something else. Charles Manson, son of a bitch, was locked up in house 4, cell 2. Maybe I can find it. All right, this looks like an older part of the prison. Staff, visitor, and inmate ID tags must be visible at all times. All right, good to know. Oh shit, of course it's locked. What's this one? Maybe there's another way in. I'll check around. That's not gonna work. No. Ah, here we go. Looks like I found some sort of hospital area.
I thought he was going to say Hobbit at first. I don't know. I've seen this before.
What is this?
But I was like, oh yeah, the Hobbit. But no, it's hospital.
It's an entire box of HIPAA violations. Frederick McKee, 2001. What was your problem? Oh, yeah. I'm no expert, but you might have a case of the black lung. Sorry to say. There's an x-ray machine in here.
Please get out of there.
A or B? A or
Charles Manson? I thought he was a serial killer.
Probably not a good idea to shine a light in here, but for the sake of the video, maybe I can shine it for a couple seconds here. This is the dining hall.
Nope, he was a
I'm
cult
guessing
leader,
those
yes.
walkways up there, where the guards would walk to make sure they had an overview of the prisoners eating. Make sure they didn't shiv each other or choke on a hot dog or whatever.
But also
Must be the
orchestrated
kitchen.
a series of brutal murders.
Oh, there's another dining hall back here. Throwing dishes in dish tank window may result in a infraction will be written. Huh. And all your fucking base or belong to us.
Ah,
This door looks pretty fucking intense. What's in here? Oh, no way. I think I know what this is. Oh, shit. It's the old original cell blocks. Like the phrase, behind the bars. Back when they had bars. Wow. These cells suck. Look at this. This is your seat?
tetanus.
Oh, no fucking way. This sucks. My head's hitting the top of this thing. This is... I think you take a shit, you gotta sit here and smell it too. Fuck this. Oh, shit. No. Fucking stupid me.
Yeah, it could be such a radioactive place. Like, he was in that area with, like, the x-ray machine and stuff. That's why I
This is
said get
leaky
out of
as
there.
shit.
Like,
Must be really coming down out there.
holy schmoly.
That's not good. Can't imagine being fucking trapped in here for years. Kinda makes me rethink the crimes I committed to get in here. Do I regret them? Nah, not really. Yeah, this place definitely can't handle rain. Jesus, look at this ceiling. See what's in the basement? Why not? Oh, looks like there's another holding area down here. Huh. Just taking a video? I doubt that.
That's a reference. He used to have a channel called, I think it's called Security Cam Man, and he used to just walk around with the camera and walk into public places, and people get mad at him. He says, I'm just recording. I'm just recording.
Alright, dead end. Alright, let's release the fucking prisoners, man. How the fuck do you work this thing? Which one did I open? Going deeper into the bowels of the prison here.
A royal revenant from Elden Ring spawns in and starts chasing him.
Looks like there's some steam tunnels back here. Not for the claustrophobic. Further down, huh? Jesus. Where the fuck is this going? Goes down.
The pipe works. I'd be so scared. Like I know what's happened and I'm still scared.
Ah, shit. It's all locked off.
Exactly. The mold, the
Guess I gotta
tetanus.
turn around. Is this where fucking Pyramid Head starts chasing me? Alright. I found a branching path. Let's see what's down here.
I'd be so scared of getting lost.
What the fuck? Now I'm outside. Alright, I'll take it. God, this place is fucking huge.
He's in the courtyard.
Probably spend an entire day here and not see it all. Alright, let's go this direction. Here's an open door. Let's see what's in here. Some stairs.
What's funny, the Silent Hill reference?
Yeah, this looks exactly the same as the other ones.
Oh yeah. So it is.
Alright. Oh, nice. The roof hatch is open. Check that out.
Turn off your light, please.
Here's an overview of the prison yard. And that ferry dock over there is the only official way to get on or off the island. And by official, I mean official business only. They don't just let anybody on there. Trespassers with kayaks, on the other hand, well, that's a different story.
Teehee.
There's a building here with lights on. I should probably stay clear of that. Alright, so I turned the camera off and kind of ran through a lot of these outlying buildings here. Not too interesting. That one is offices. That one is just a big empty room. That one over there is just more big empty rooms. Some sort of furniture factory where I guess the prisoners were building furniture. This is a big baseball field, and that guard tower over there is the only one that's active. They got it all lit up for some reason. There's a ferry over there. Probably still using that. But as for Charles Manson, well, I've been all over this place, and sad to say, I'm 100% certain his jail cell no longer exists. They must have tore that building down to build something newer. But it's only a minor disappointment. I mean, sneak into a fucking island prison? Cross that one off the fucking bucket list. Anyway, I think I've seen this place. I'm gonna get out of here. Alright, I'm out. Now if I can reach that second light down there without any cars driving by or being seen, I can shave off a lot of walking time. It's kind of a gamble, but I'm feeling lucky. Hopefully there's nobody in any of these buildings that are looking out the window right now. Don't mind me. Just a fucking trespasser in the night. Nothing to worry about, right? If I can just get past this fucking light.
I would be running.
Fuck this, I'm running. Alright, I think I'm good. No one can see me out here. Now there's only one place left on the island to explore. And after a little bit of walking, there it is. The Commitment Center. Home of rapists, pedophiles, molesters. People who have served their prison sentence but are still too fucked up to be let into society. Let's go check it out. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going anywhere near that fucking place. But yeah, that's McNeil Island. Don't come here. It's against the fucking law.
Pretty neat, huh? How do you feel, Yusuke-san? Do you think this is cool content? Very cool. I think so too. Let's see, how much AP do I have left? We got enough for 2 more runs. We can start watching this.
A safe and pleasant journey.
But after I'm done with my AP, I'm going to bed.
So I just flew into Paris yesterday, and this is where I slept.
He's in Paris.
Right here in the middle of these woods next to the highway. Highway wasn't too bad. It was like white noise, so it didn't keep me up. This is my setup. I got a nice big.
He says in his channel description he quit because this was a hobby and he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Cover here to keep me dry when it rains, and a nice U.S. military surplus sleeping bag. I wasn't going to stress too much about finding an accommodation in Paris because I hear it's very expensive, and I'm going to just camp out in the woods like a fucking hobo and hope for the best. Now I'm going to roll all this up and stash it, hide it somewhere. Somebody fucking finds it. If somebody found it and stole this, I'd be pretty fucked for the rest of my trip. So I got to hide it. Oh, here's a book. I'll just shove that in there because I don't want to carry that around all day. Throw this in this bush over here. Cover this up. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm in a spot where nobody's really gonna walk through anyway because there's no real trails back here. I actually covered this up last night, and then I came back last night looking for it again, and I almost couldn't find it. I almost was in a panic because I was like, holy shit, I just lost my sleeping bag. So there's a pro tip. If you're gonna stash your sleeping bag somewhere, make sure you fucking know where it is, otherwise you're screwed. A small pack is good enough, pretty lightweight. Brush myself off here, and let's get the hell out of this park. Oh, huh. Looks like somebody's been here before. That's soaking wet. Obviously this is a big city, so you got a lot of homeless people. There's a guy over there, I better be quiet. And he does not seem to see me, that's good. Yeah, you want to be really careful about just walking out of the woods. Especially after you've camped out there, because you don't want anybody going back here and trying to figure you out and maybe finding your stuff. That would be very bad. When I came into the park yesterday, there was a bunch of guys hanging out over there, so I had to just kind of sit down and wait a little bit for them to fuck off so I could come back here. Like somebody got into a fucking car wreck over there, I don't know. Everybody's just hanging out, I don't know what they're doing. So yeah, those woods over there, that's where I slept last night, and then right over here is this fucking thing. And this is pretty cool. It's a water spigot. Camped right over there. Water source is right here. And there's the fucking Eiffel Tower over there in the distance at the end of this street over here. Just a 10-minute walk from where I camped. Right, so I just got this baguette and hummus, and that ended up being like €2.60, so that's pretty cheap. That's a lot cheaper than it would be in the US, so I'm gonna sit here in this park next to this piece of shit, and I'll just sit here and eat it. That was pretty good, actually. All right, so now I'm gonna take my Trader Joe's multivitamin. They don't have Trader Joe's in Paris, but I brought these over from the States so I could, stay healthy or whatever. Looks like they got this Eiffel Tower pretty locked down because of all the terrorist attacks.
Military.
It smells pretty bad of piss down here. If you go under the bridges, it smells like piss. Now that is a very nice looking bridge. It's a nice fucking bridge. Look at that fucking lamp. That's a nice fucking lamp. And it smells like piss in here. There's a nice fountain. Nice park. Not bad. Nice. Jesus, even the prison looks kind of nice. This is one thing I need to talk about is the restrooms in Paris. It's not like the US where you can just go to any place and go to a fucking restroom. I get really pissed about that, except for like Starbucks. You can probably pull it off in Starbucks. But they have these. They're free. They're probably like you push this button and it opens up. You go in here. It's got a mirror. It's got a toilet. It's not a toilet you really want to sit on though. I'm not sure how the sink works. And I think right now I'm gonna shave in here. I'm just gonna cut the bottom part of a water bottle off. It's gonna be like my, it's gonna be like my sink, I guess. Here's my cup with my shaving razor, so I'm gonna use to clean it off. I'm coming into the woods at night to go back to my camp. And it seems like every night there's these people over here just milling around. What's this guy doing? Gotta be more careful
Night moving.
at night coming in here than during the morning. Alright, so things are a little wet because it rained today. And it might rain tonight. But I don't have to worry about that because this thing is waterproof and it keeps everything really dry. It was pretty fucking cold last night and everything is pretty wet too, so I think it's probably time that I move on from this city. I've been walking around it for like 2 or 3 days. I've seen quite a lot. I'm not gonna get too much into the sightseeing aspect in this video because well, there's probably a lot of videos that already covered that pretty well. So I'm just gonna focus on like the parts where I'm saving money here basically by not paying for a hostel or whatever. There's a bus service called Flixbus and I'm gonna end up using that because they have a offer 5 tickets for 99 euros and these tickets can pretty much go wherever in Europe. That's like 20 euro a ticket. I think I paid 10 euro just to get from the airport. Apparently the fucking vouchers, okay, so you can't just buy a trip from one city to another if it's got a layover in any other city. I was trying to go from Paris to Florence, but there was a layover in Torino, which wasn't gonna work, so I'd have to use 2 vouchers for that. So I bought a ticket to Bologna, I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, I bought a ticket there with the voucher, and then I paid like 7 euros for a ticket to Florence from there.
I see. Wow. You love Florence.
Just got into Florence, now I gotta walk around and find a place to camp. I think I've got an idea of where I'm gonna go, so hopefully it works out. If I keep walking this direction, maybe I'll find something good. So I'm digging the spot.
Wait,
right
Florence
here.
is in Italy,
If I could
right?
just get on the other side of this damn fence, I think it would be pretty good. Alright, right there, I think that's my way in. Fucking shit. Right as I throw my sleeping bag over the thing, this fucking car pulls up, so now I gotta walk away and pretend I didn't do that. Okay, he's walking away now. Now to get myself over the wall. Alright, I'm over the wall. Found this thing. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't look like it's been used in a long time. So I can probably hide my stuff in here. Now the unfortunate part is there's some guy in his car sitting over there listening to U2 or some shit. So I gotta find an alternative way out of here. And there's some fucking mosquitoes around, so that's not good. I think I'll walk up that hill and see what's up there. Ow, fucking thorns. Fucking plants. I need to get out of here and find something to eat. I can just walk out of here? I don't know. No, it's locked. Oh great, there's a lot of people up there.
Not a good place to stash your stuff.
Without them seeing me. Wait a minute, I don't need to climb this fence. The Italians need to brush up on their security. What is this? Pillows? Weird. There's a bunch of tents in here. These tents don't look set up to camp in. I wonder if there's an unlocked one somewhere. Oh, what the fuck am I getting their tents? Nice.
The homeless tents?
Is there a way in? What is this attached to here? Oh, I found a way in. Nice. I think I know where I'm gonna camp tonight. Just as long as they're not being used. They clearly don't look like they're being used. And if they're closed, well, it means it's open for me. Looks like there used to be a hole here. Looks like there is a hole here. I can crawl through this hole.
These clothes are so durable. I feel like my pants would rip just thinking about this.
Fucking public street. Nice. All right. Thank you, man and car. Would have never discovered that bullshit if you hadn't just sat there and listened to your music. I just woke up. This is where I slept last night in the tent. It was pretty good. No mosquitoes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll that up and then I'm going to shove it under this tent. So I got out of that tent. And I noticed that a few things were moved around outside that weren't there before. So instead of stashing my gear underneath it, I came back here and I'm gonna find a place to stash it here. And I'm gonna walk back through the tents and get out of here. Someone's definitely been in here. Looks like they made the bed. Weird. Well, whoever it is, at least he's careful to close the hole back up when he leaves. That's good.
Alright, this is what I just ate, and it's probably gonna be what I eat wherever I go in Italy. The bowl of beans and vegetables was like €2.50. You're supposed to heat it up, but I don't give a shit. And the bag of chips was like 50 cents. So if you're like me and you hate restaurants, it's actually pretty cheap to eat here.
Alright, last day at the tents. Last day at Florence. I'm gonna head down.
I'm going to bed. We'll watch the rest of this on the morrow. So yeah, as per usual, salute the sun, have some fun. Thank you for coming through. Triple hand heart, because I heart you. Yes, I do. You can see that emoji there when I put it in. I strike that pose, I suppose. I'll see you later, alligators, and after a while, you crocodiles.